Hey, welcome everybody to a brand new live episode of the Outlaw Nation Show here on the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel. Can't thank you all enough for taking the time to watch us here live and follow along with us on this crazy wild ride we call the Outlaw Nation Show. Anything and everything can happen on these shows and has. We've had so many great guests over the last few weeks. Robert Meyer Burnett, Ben Bateman, Scott Mance was rolling through here. So many crazy and fun things. Jeff Snyder, God knows, Jeff Snyder, he kept talking to us until the lights went out in his house. It was crazy, crazy stuff. And you all make it so incredibly fun. Danny Fernandez was on as well. She was great. She just celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday, Danny. We had so many great people, and today is no exception. I can't wait to get into it. I am excited to bring this woman onto the show, and I'm very happy to have had this woman in my life over the last few months. No, I'm not talking about my girlfriend. I'm talking about someone else who's pretty incredible and someone I find incredibly funny, the lovely and talented Kate Mulligan. We'll introduce her in just a second. But as you all know, the Streamlabs are open, the Super Chats are open, so start sending stuff in because we're going to be asking a lot of questions. And those of you who want to come in live, if you're patrons of the show, you will be able, or patrons of the Outlaw Nation channel, you'll be able to come in first before the other guests who are watching us live want to come in and ask their questions. Before we get started, I want to give some love to everybody who signed up for the Outlaw Nation channel over the last 24 hours. Samuel Gonzalez, Sarah Belmont, One Man Superband, T. Moore, Breed X, Matthew Reed, Making Comics, Garrett Abbott, Nassif Rao, and Shawnee from Australia. Pretty simple, Shawnee from Australia. I appreciate that. And let me bring in my producer on the show here. That is Wiley Todd. Wiley, how are you, my man?
Good. So let's get straight to the point, guys.
Yeah,
you guys know the deal. If you guys are new, it's fine. Don't get overwhelmed. This is how it goes, okay? So Roca has a Patreon, which a bunch of stuff is going down. You can see it right there. Sign up for that after today, after you're done watching and leaving that like and that comment. After that, sign up. But what does this do for you? First of all, you get a bunch of new shows that Roca is producing. But for this show specifically, what you guys get to do is every time this show starts, and doesn't matter which guest, anytime, you guys will get a link to this platform, StreamYard, so you can come in and ask a question later on the show. If you're like, "What, Wiley, I got to go. I don't know if I can stay this whole time," then go, and then come back later to the question portion, and you guys can still get in. So that does not matter. Yeah. Also, the Patrons get a 20-minute grace period where they get to have the link with 20 minutes from the show right now, and then you guys actually in the live chat will actually link after that to come on in the show. So that will happen. And that's easy. If you guys have any questions, ask me or Jake in the chat at Wiley Todd or at Jake Yakavetta in the chat, and we'll help you, guide you to get on this platform. It's not overwhelming. It's great. Just watch. If you guys watch the past Robert Meyer Burnett video, definitely check that one out. And you'll see how people got to asking questions and everything. It's fun. This is the only show that does that. And this is the one that started, the flagship show that started people coming in. Yep. So do enjoy it. You guys will enjoy it. And Kate is a perfect guest to have your first time to come on the stream. So you guys will be able to do that. Also, like Roca said, there will be links to different platforms and everything. And I just want to clear this up before you take me off, Roca. People are asking why I'm putting the Twitch in the chat. Don't really matter about that. The only reason I'm putting that in there is because Roca's about to start a show on Twitch. Yeah. So if you guys want to know everything John Roca, you guys can go follow that to just have that in your back burner so you don't have to worry about it. But don't just watch the show. If you guys want to do that extra step while you're watching and pull up another tab, that's fine. But that's the reason why I put that in there. But that is all, Roca.
All right, Wiley, thank you so much. Really appreciate you doing the things that you do here on the show. And remember, Wiley will be putting in the link and everything like that for you to come in live and ask questions. I already see a patron in there waiting to jump in. I'm going to make him wait the most probably than any other patron. So, but I know he's anxious to come in and ask his question first, but he'll have to wait his turn because first we got to introduce this incredibly beautiful, funny, and talented lady who has no limits to her comedy, which is what makes us fall in love with her on every episode of SEN Live. She's so fantastic. She means she's grown to become such a good friend to me, and also someone I care about deeply, and I want to see succeed in everything that she's doing. You might know her from such films as The Walk of Shame, The Lincoln Lawyer. She was a karaoke singer in fame. She was a waitress in The Ugly Truth, for God's sakes, and her claim to fame being the party girl in The Dead Girl. These are the kinds of this is the kind of sterling resume that an actress of this quality and caliber delivers. Plus, if you haven't watched her stand-up, and there's plenty of clips on YouTube, her Britney Spears jokes being one of the best ones, highlighted clips, you can go and take a look at that. You can go and enjoy her. And of course, on SEN Live, whenever she can be on there. And she is the den mother of the den on the Schmoedown. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's please bring on Chicago's favorite daughter. That is Kate Mulligan. How are you, Kate?
Okay, I was blushing with so many of the things you said. They were so nice. And then you told people to go check out my stand-up online. I'm like, no, do not. No, don't do that. No, there was one show I signed a waiver for that they could then use my clip into perpetuity. And it was the worst. I mean, it's truly, I don't think there's a single good clip out there, but God bless you for ever having watched it and for saying anything was good.
I had to do some research on you. There's not as much as I would have liked to have found, but you know, so this show is going to be us getting to know each other a little bit more, and you all by proxy will get to know Kate a little bit more as well. So I'm excited to have you on. I feel like I've seen you already 3 times today.
I know.
But this is going to be uniquely different. Let's start off first. Kate, you have, you've walked back into the world of comedy. And, we talked about the stand-up stuff, everything like that. Tell me, what's this journey been like for you? How did you start in stand-up comedy? And what is it that has brought you back to occasionally start doing it again? Certainly you held court at the draft. And you've had other opportunities to be up on stage with Mark Ellis and other things involved there. What has brought you slowly back to comedy? Because when I first met you, you were done with it. Yeah, when I had first met you, you were done with it, and you've come back slowly but surely. Why was that?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I feel like the list of people that you've had on, I'm like, I can't believe I'm in league with them.
Please.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And secondly, it's funny because I sort of found my natural, and it's something I've always said, and I don't know if you find this to be true too, Roca, but that if you don't have the hustle, it's not, and I just never had the hustle. It was never going to work for me. I didn't have the hustle and what I mean by the hustle is I wasn't willing to get out there every single night. I wasn't willing to drive to an open mic in Redondo Beach and then drive, you know what I mean? Basically when I met Dickie in 2008, I was like, oh, it's also sort of fun to hang out with my boyfriend at night. You know what I mean? It's also fun to not get up and bomb in front of a crowd. And you do enough swear jar on the show.
Yeah, of course. Please cuss your brains out. I don't care.
You do enough shitty shows that I don't know. It's like, I just didn't have the hustle. And I had transitioned from doing stand-up, from doing improv. So I did Second City Conservatory in Chicago, and I did the Improv Olympic training program there.
Wow.
I didn't get very far through Improv Olympic, though. I switched over to Second City, but I did finish the conservatory at Second City, and I loved improv, and I did it all through college. I was in this group at Northwestern called Meow, which you can look it up. It's Julie Louis-Dreyfus was in that group.
Wow.
There's just a lot of people that came out of that group. And I moved out to LA, and I was like, well, I was very Chicago proud. I was like, well, I come from where people do improv. I don't think I need to be doing I was like, I'll do stand up out in LA. Meanwhile, LA has an absolutely incredible improv scene, and some of the best improv I've seen has been out here. So I didn't need to be such a snob about it, but I sort of transitioned into doing stand-up that way, and then really loved it. And I sort of loved that when I failed, it was all mine, and when I succeeded, it was all mine, because in improv, the thing that's great is if a show doesn't go well, you can be like, that was us, right? That was all of us, right? Oh man, we really dropped the ball in that scene, right? It was just me, it was sort of a shared victory or a shared failure. But I sort of liked that with stand-up, it was all mine one way or another, because you learn just as much from the failures. But I don't know. I just sort of, there was like a month, I was like, I haven't done any stand-up this month. And I was like, huh, that was a good month. Okay, I'm done. Like it just was this very, well, and I think you know the story. The other thing that had happened was that I got mugged. And
I don't know this story. Really? You got mugged?
God.
Oh,
people
please.
People are going to be so sick of the story.
Wow.
So this was in the day of, I don't know if you like remember this, but like when you would do a stand-up show, there would be somebody that would film it and you could pay them $20 to $25 or whatever,
Sure.
which was so much money for the DVD. So I had the DVDs. So I like basically I was meeting up with my landlord who was about to leave for like however we were like having dinner. This was like while downtown LA was sort of transitioning. Like it was like 2009. And I was meeting up at like a fancy restaurant with her, and she had like $300 cash on her because she was going to Peru the next day. And I had no cash, but all of my DVDs because I was having my friend make me my stand-up reel the next day.
Right.
And as we were leaving the restaurant, a guy pulled up in a van and came out with a gun, cocked the gun.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't know, like your instincts in those moments. First of all, it was the longest moments ever, but also your instincts in those moments are so strange because I couldn't have planned out this response.
Yeah.
But I screamed. Like I was like, I made a noise I couldn't possibly replicate, but it was like, Aah! Like it was like threw my purse at him, like without even thinking. I held on to my keys.
Yeah.
And like had a moment where I was like, should I throw him my keys too? And then, but I saw that he was already making his way back to the van. And I then like just crouched waiting to be shot. Right. Like it all happened. It was like, and I just crouched and my landlord ran.
Yeah.
Which I can't fault her for. I don't know why I did what I did. I don't know why she did like, but whatever it was, we were both safe. And then basically as the guy drove away, we're looking, there's like 20 people around on the street. It's like 10 o'clock at night at 5th and Spring.
And nobody did anything.
No, well, no. Then a guy got in his car and like tried to find the guy, but I was like,
oh wow!
I just was like, help!
Oh,
like I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Are you okay? Okay, calm down. Are you okay?" Wow. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." I was like, "Did anybody?" They're like, "Yeah." It's like, but what are you gonna do? Roll up on a guy with a gun? Like,
right.
So you know, that was just one of those things. Like then, LA law enforcement's way too busy for that, and I listen. I understand, like. It was a lot to me at the time. And I definitely, my sense of security in the world very much changed at that point. But I also was like, oh my God, that guy has every single stand-up set I've ever done.
Oh wow.
And
you organically came to that thought after that experience.
Yes. And I was like, is this a sign from the universe? Nope. No real. Like there's some stand-up sets I'm legitimately proud of. Yeah. And I don't have any record of them. And then everybody, of course, like in their infinite helpfulness was like, you didn't burn copies of the DVD. No, I didn't burn. I'm sorry. I'm 26 living in LA. Like I'm not my own business manager. I don't have good ideas. Come on.
Right. What you did know is that was probably Suge Knight who robbed you. But anyway, let's move on.
Well, you know, it's so funny, John. Some of my best, one of my best bits came out of that.
Oh, really? Oh,
which was as the guy who you're going to actually love this. And if you don't, how dare you? But there was the guy that robbed me was Hispanic, but then the cop that came to interview me after was Hispanic also. And I used to tell this joke. I was like, my white guilt really took over. He was like, all right, man, what did he look like? And I was like, yeah, very beautiful tan skin. And then he's like, no, but ma'am, what was his ethnicity? He came from a culture of hardworking people. Ma'am, how would you describe? He was a Dodgers fan, and that was like the button on it.
Definitely not an immigrant. Not an immigrant.
I'm sure he was legal. He came from, a lot of hardworking people in his lineage. He was. I think it's just one bad guy, but all of his people are great.
Let me assure you, Latinos know how criminal some Latinos can be. So we're fine if you want to name him and whatever.
It was just so awkward though. He's like, what was his nationality? I was like, Hispanic. I wanted to lie to him about it.
Right, of course.
I was like, he was Hispanic.
So is this around the time where you met Christian? How did that whole thing pop up? How did you do Christian Harloff meet?
Christian I met 2 years prior to that. So Christian and I met in 2007. So I moved out to LA in 2006 and then fell in with actually I think you know who it is, but I fell in with somebody. I got into a relationship pretty quickly with the guy who is now an Oscar winner. And I spent that whole first year. So 2006, I spent that whole year basically sort of living his LA. And I'm not.
I don't know this. I don't know this, by the way, and you don't have to reveal it, but I don't know. But
no,
go ahead.
I honestly just out of respect never do.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's actually like I don't even know this person anymore. Right, I mean, right. I'm sure if somebody said my name to him, you'd be like, oh yeah, but also it's not. There's a family involved. Like I'm not trying to talk out of turn.
Spielberg, I get it. He's a dirty dog.
Spielberg.
I get it.
Spielberg,
Spielberg. Yeah, I get it.
No, but that first year I sort of just lived through like his LA, and he was on a TV show at the time. So I then in 2007 was heartbroken by this breakup, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And that's when and he was a comedy guy at the time too.
Yeah. So
that's when I really buckled down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then I met Christian doing stand-up at Room 5. And
did you date Christian?
No.
Okay.
All right. No.
All right. No, because Kate's a hottie. Like, she was a hottie. Yeah. I've seen those pictures of you in your 20s. Kate said she was throwing it around like a frisbee. So I totally respect that. She was having a good time.
Throwing it around like a frisbee is the greatest expression I've ever heard. No,
which that's what I like about ladies in comedy, man. There's no bullshit there. It's a flat out honest truth about what's really going on behind the scenes. And then that's at that time when, like, I remember the comedy explosion in the 90s. All of a sudden, all these hot ladies could do comedy. You could watch them on stand. Like, they were getting groupies. Like, that was so crazy to see that male groupies would be outside of comedy stores trying to hook up with female comedians. It was so interesting to watch.
It's very funny because at the time I was like a size 31 jeans now. Like I was a size 26 at the time. Okay. Yeah, so if you can imagine, I was how many I got? How many? 5. I was 5 inches slimmer than I am now. 5 inches is a lot, Roca. But I used to get up there.
Trust me, I know.
I had like a stand-up uniform that I used to wear. I used to wear like a wife beater with like my bra strap showing. And it was like, I had like a tight stomach because there was no children that had lived there yet. And I remember I used to start, I was like, hi, I know what you guys are thinking. She's hot. She can't be funny. Thank you. Thank you. So like, that was like always my opening thing. But it was also such a weird thing to call myself hot. But everybody always liked that joke because I think there was a part where they're like, what's this broad about to do?
Were you always a funny, like as a child, were you like doing sets for your parents as a little girl? Like, were you always finding like unique takes on the world? And you're like, why does no one else see it but me? Like, isn't this funny? This has to be funny. Did you discover that about yourself at a really young age?
I remember the first time I remember thinking, oh, I like getting laughs. I was definitely young. It's so funny because like we've talked about parents a lot today. I don't have a strained relationship with my parents at all, but I do think that like when everybody's talking about like shows that they bonded over with their parents, and like, God, I don't have that experience. Or like, was I doing bits for my parents? I'm like, no, like,
interesting.
I don't know. There was like a lot of, I came from I'm worried that my mom's maybe watching this.
Oh my God. Mrs. Mulligan.
But I guess, I don't know. It was sort of like there was a lot of anger in my family. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
And I think that comedy sort of was my way to get out of that. Like nothing, there was no, I mean, both of my parents are together, they're married, but there was, the lineage of our family, there's some dark stuff for sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Especially on my mom's side.
All right.
And I think that translated into some anger, I think. So
are we talking like Game of Thrones dark, or are we talking like Blair Witch Project dark? Like dark like alcoholism. I see.
Drug abuse. And like when my grandmother died, my uncle had been living with her, and my aunt was in charge of the estate, and she had to go and kick him out of the house. He was in his 60s at the time living with her.
Right.
And he had stolen all of her painkillers.
Wow.
And we don't know if he had been doing that all along. I mean, it's not great.
So Brett Favre was your uncle, basically. Yeah. Okay, I understand. I totally respect that. Look, famous. Yeah. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. I get it. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Well, are you the first born or only child? where are you at right now? Where
No,
I'm sorry, where are you at in the lineage of your parents' children?
Yeah, so my parents, or my mom's from a family of 7 kids. The other
Okay.
thing that was there was a tragedy in her family, which you can sort of understand. Her parents, she had 2 alcoholic parents.
Oh, I got
May
you.
they
Okay.
rest in peace. But
Right.
her brother died very tragically when she
Oh,
was 19. And
okay.
he was the one that was closest in age to her. And I don't know if you're familiar with like alcoholic like family roles. There's like
Right.
different roles. He was the clown of the family.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I didn't grow up with alcoholism, but something I realized, I went to an Al-Anon meeting with a friend once, is
Mhm.
that alcoholism doesn't just affect one generation,
Right.
because the way my mother had to pivot from alcoholism, then it did feed into that's what I'm saying, like the anger and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was what mine was like. And again, nothing, I'm not complaining. I had a
Right.
stable household, but I definitely think that the comedy sort of came out of that. Like,
Wow.
you know, like,
Yeah.
it just trickled. It's trickled down dysfunction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people, like my family was kind of like that. Oh, well, not kind of, it was, my dad and I used to fight all the time verbally, a couple of times physically.
Yeah.
But I still loved him, and we still it was just weird. And my mom, of course, was the sweetest person. She was the nicest person, but she was made of iron to raise 3 such insanely independent kids. My brother and I haven't spoken in 24 years, yet he lives with my mom. So I like go visit, but my sister, like, she's the bridge between the both of us. So it's like, I get that. I turned to anger and, frustration and blah, 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 which I had to do therapy for to climb out of it. You turned to humor to deal with it and kind of create a little bit of that.
Yes, but also we should be clear. I also definitely have struggled with anger issues myself. I don't want to make it sound. I don't want to make it sound like, and I did great because I just turned my sad and just happy. No, I definitely have had to. Yeah, I've definitely had to work on my own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you a bear when you're angry? Are you a bear when you're angry?
I'm unfair. I don't fight. I don't fight clean. Like it's like, I just go for the worst possible.
You go for the jugular.
Yeah. And it's not, it's Dickie's actually described it to me, because I'll tell you what, it's definitely been the biggest issue in my marriage too, is that, when it comes out, he's like, I see a shift in your eyes.
Yeah.
Which is why he wants me to do that. What's that? Have you heard of this EMDR therapy?
Yeah, I did it. I did it when I went through my suicide stuff in 2016. I did the EMDR for 6 months.
Did
completely changed me.
Okay, so both Bret, I hope Bret won't mind me saying this, but both Bret's wife had suggested it for him, and then my husband suggested it for me, because he says, like, I see something, I can tell there's something in your eyes that totally changes, and I can tell that you're about to be gone.
It regresses you back to the inciting incident with which you created that behavior to save yourself from that situation. That's what it does. And you hold 2 electronic paddles, and the therapist puts headphones on your ear.
It sounds like Scientology.
Yeah. I mean, and then they play the tick, 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 like this. And then the things buzz in your hands as it goes left to right in your ear. And then she asks you, or he or she will ask you questions, and then you're answering. Then she'll stop and ask you more questions, and your eyes are, and they're regressing you all the way back. She regressed me all the way back. It took like 3 months to regress me all the way back to elementary school, because my issues had to deal with self-worth. The self-worth because the first girl I ever had a crush on rejected me so strongly in elementary school, and I was a sensitive kid at that time, that for whatever reason, that is what that anger, that hurt, that pain was what would come out in my relationships when I felt I was being like not treated well, or I felt like I wasn't trusting somebody, or those were self-worth issues. And so I had to go all the way back to there and then navigate back from there to figure it out. So the EMDR can work if you're willing to go with a therapist. So yeah, I hear you.
That's so fascinating. Intense. Did you know prior that was what you would have? You had no idea.
I had no idea.
If you were like, "What's your inciting incident?" I'd be like, "I have no idea."
Right. I had no idea. I mean, when she got me there, I was like, "Oh, right, I remember that. Holy shit!" And it just kind of went from there. And then it was like, "Okay, now we climb back out," because they teach you how to slay the dragon of that issue. And that's what you,
That is so fascinating because I've actually been wondering, like, I wonder if anybody has done this.
Yeah. It worked. It worked for me, but you got to be open to it. That's the thing.
Well, and that's the thing is, like the Zoloft can help me to an extent, but still, there are still some moments when I just become a little unhinged, and we can sort of like Dickie, if he's with me, can sort of be like, you're cut off from like, you need to go, like, and that doesn't help ever when you're about to explode.
Oh yeah, right.
It's never, it's not like we're not doing this now, but like, especially I try never to, I've let the kids see it once, I think.
Right.
And that was a huge issue.
Wow.
That the kids saw it because
I'm sure.
Also it's so hard. I mean, you have to understand that, like, if you're somebody that already sort of has a temper, having people pawing and clawing at you and knocking shit, like, it's just, it's so hard to maintain patience with, especially now.
Right.
Like, everybody's on top of each other all the time. I have friends that are like, where have you gone? And I'm like, I have 3 humans with me all day long.
Yeah.
Now. Like, I can't, at the end of the day, I don't want to talk to anybody.
I mean, I think that's one of the things that my girlfriend and I, when we had our second or third date, it was like, she goes very clearly, I do not want to have kids. If you want to have kids, you're with the wrong woman, go find somebody else. Just very straight up. And I was like, you know what? I had my time. I kind of think there's something here to explore. And once we got deeper in love, I was like, you know what? It's cool. I let it go. And we're completely fine without it. And I don't have a pining to have a child. And I see some people, like what you're talking, like, I know there's beauty to it, but I know some other people are just like, my God, it's exhausting. 90% is exhausting for the 10% that you get out of it, the smiles and whatever. And for some people, that 10% is enough. For other people, the 90% can overwhelm them, so I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I also just think, I think it's so wise when people know if they are or are not a kids person. Because I think a lot of times people will try to convince themselves that for the longest time, to I think appear more casual or appear cooler. I was like, I'm not a kids person. No, I'm not gonna. But I'm like, I love other people's kids, and I was like the greatest aunt ever. But then like my clock just went off, and I was like, someone put a baby in me now. Like, there was no denying it. And now I'm like, I can't imagine not being a mom. Like, I just
right.
But I think for the longest time, I like in like trying to appear casual. I'm like, no, I could do no kids. It's fine. Like, no, I couldn't.
I love it.
But I love that your girlfriend knows that, because if she was like, I could do kids, and then like comes around and she's mentally unwell because of it.
Yeah,
come on.
right.
You know,
well, she knows it would not. It just wouldn't work for her. So I love that. You're right. It's good to know. All right. On that note, let's jump into some Streamlabs and some Super Chats. We'll jump into more peppier topics here. But you know how the Outlaw Nation show goes. We go where the conversation goes, and I love that.
Oh, sorry. Did I drag this down?
No, you did not at all. I did. So we're having a good time though. We have over 147 of you all watching us live. Would love it if you swung that cursor button over and give it some likes. And if you're watching this later on, give it a like as well, because we're trying, the likes and the comments always help to give more presence and more attention to the channel. So please give it a like. We only have 75 likes. Swing that cursor button. Get us over 100 likes as fast as possible. Larry Lee said super chat. He said, good evening to 2 awesome Schmoedown people. Kate, thanks for being on Hotel Nerds podcast. It became the most viewed episode. Roca, you are the man. Oh, it's very kind of you. Thank you, Larry.
So sweet. I love that, Larry.
He's a good guy. And thank you, Larry, for what you sent me off my wish list, off my Amazon wish list, which I finally put up. Larry was very kind to send some stuff in, so I appreciated that. Black Wolf Incorporated. It was the first time he sent something in. Peace and love to the Outlaw Nation. Oh, I like it. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
How about it?
Peace and love.
Peace and love. All right.
And then Mukbang Reviews just said $5. LOL. All right, perfect. Right to the point. I appreciate that.
He was laughing at me getting mugged. He's like,
tell that cop.
You tell that cop.
Dark Faith 66 says Kate is just the best. We love her. Agreed.
That's so nice.
Agreed. You get a lot of love in the community.
I know.
Kate.
I gotta tell you, I do, and I don't feel like I deserve it, but I'll tell you what, that Dark Faith is everywhere.
Yeah.
Love.
Let's see what we've got on the Streamlabs. We had a few that came in here. Please send them in as you get the idea and the desire to get some of your questions asked. Here, Tim Kaskuba sent in. He said, good evening, y'all. You're now officially John and Kate +8. I love it. Oh, he said $8 because he donated $8. Oh, respect. Now, good joke there, Tim.
I love that.
He said, question sort of, describe your perfect sandwich. Have a good night. I'll be listening to this in podcast form because I won't awake for another 7 hours. So Scuba wants us to describe your perfect sandwich. What do you got, Kate?
I'm not going to make one up in my head. I just like,
Okay.
my go-to if I want like a good sandwich.
Yeah.
I love, and people are going to come at me about this, I think. I love me Jersey Mike's Jersey Shore. Oh, you hate it? You hate it?
Preach. No, preach, girl. That's a good sandwich.
Okay. I was like, is this about the Goonies? Are you still mad about the Goonies?
Hey, man. Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
No.
What's in that sandwich for people who don't know what's in that sandwich? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's like capicola ham, and I don't know if they put like a shredded lettuce. Then you get it Mike's way, and it's like oil and vinegar. It's just like a bunch of Italian meats, and it's just, I don't know. It's like a Jersey Shore hoagie. I love it. Let me see.
Jersey Shore. I like that.
Actually, I just saw some. The other thing is Langer's in LA.
Okay.
Do you ever get the number? What is it? The 14 or the 8? That's like the Russian. They do like Russian dressing on corned beef. I want to say it's
okay.
Whatever it is, it's amazing.
Okay.
Right. But that's like downtown.
I'm trying to look this up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see it. It doesn't say it. All right. Oh, here we go. Jersey Shore's favorite. Back in the 50s, Jersey Mike's was one of only places in the world to get this sub. Provolone and raised with antibiotics, ham and capicola. There you go. Lettuce and tomato and whatever you want to do.
I just want to kill a lot of pigs.
I love the turkey and provolone from Jersey Mike's for sure. I go Firehouse subs. They have a ham and Swiss pizza sub that they do it is massive, and they put it in the oven so it goes through the oven, and when it comes out, it melts in your mouth as you eat it. You will absolutely have the worst bowel movements of your life for 2 days.
Great.
But they're goddamn worth sandwich. It's a sandwich that's worth it. It is absolutely worth it just for that alone. So I would say that's definitely one of my favorite sandwiches, period. Let's see.
Can I ask where Firehouse Sub is?
Firehouse, there's one in North Hollywood up there on Lancashire. Oh, there in Lancashire. Yeah.
I'm trying to have 2 days of a bad bowel movement. I'm gonna take some notes.
Go try it out. It's really good, that Firehouse Subs. Shook Knight donated. He said, because I love you too, Dad. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Shook. I appreciate it. Alex O'Neill asks, Kate, if you were to play a match in the Schmoedown, who would you love to play against? Ooh, good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Who is as big an idiot as I am? I don't know that there is anyone. That's
not the answer.
I guess.
Would you play Sheridan? Would you play Bret? Would you play your own
No, because I'll tell you what, Bret got more than I would have in that match. I mean, I guess I would play Gucci. I would play Kaiser.
Okay.
You know what? Right. No matter what, he'd probably win. But also, I just have the most fun with that dude. I have a lot of fun with him. I definitely wouldn't play you.
You never know.
No, you do know. Yeah. There's a reason I'm where I am in the Schmoedown. And I think some people would even question why I'm there. So
oh, please. No one would. Andrew Hale sent in a super chat I can't find, but it's on here on the list. He said, John always has the best intros for a guest. 100. Thank you, Andrew. It's very kind of you. And then, Ryan C. Let's look at this one here. Let me bring this up. Ryan C. sent one in I think is important for us to tackle. Where is it? Let me bring it up. Sorry, guys. Please be patient with me. He goes, anger is a tough emotion to handle. Gay people have to keep it bottled up often, and mental health care is not easy to come by for us in the Midwest. That's absolutely a great point. Have you been watching the HBO show about the drag, where they go from small town to small town, and they're just like encouraging people about drag and talking about drag? Have you? And they're like, they go into these small towns. Yeah, they go into these small towns and they get people like all into this stuff and get them to confront things and try to put people back together in terms of families and relationships. It's incredible.
I'm so sorry that I got distracted during that. No, I haven't. What is it called?
We Are Here, I think is what it's called.
Oh. I've got to watch that.
I'm telling you, you cry. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh.
My girlfriend and I watch it like crazy. And this is what Ryan is talking about. They go to like Idaho. They go to like Missouri. They go to like Kansas. They go to these small towns in these like predominantly. They went to like Branson, and Branson was like they got run out of 3 separate places by people because they were in drag or they were gay. They were gay coming in trying to ask to do a drag show at their auditorium. So I totally understand what Ryan is talking about. It must be rough out there, man.
Yeah.
Also,
there's I don't know if Ryan, if you can get out.
Yeah, get out. Come to LA.
Good advice, but I was gonna say, or just like find, like I feel like the big cities and like I know like Chicago is the Midwest, and I feel like there's I don't want to say you can only be happy where you're around people that are your village, but like I just find a way to either make a village where you are or find your village somewhere in the world, because it's just. Even if you just don't have that support network, it's that much harder. If you don't have mental health access, plus you don't have a support network, I don't know.
True. It's very true.
I don't know.
Michael Nip says Kate and John talk at personal stuff helps others. Oh, thank you, Michael. That's very kind of you to say.
Michael.
You always worry.
Hype and Michael.
I know, right?
Mike looks like somebody I'd be friends with.
Like
Professor
friends
Nick.
with or friends with?
I'd be 2007 friends with him. No. I'd be friends with him.
I love it. Mukbang sent in something because I love the mugging story. All right. Not the crime, but how she found value through the horror. Oh, and I love a meatball sub.
Oh, meatball subs are good too, I gotta say.
Yeah, I like those too. I'm a big fan of those. A lot of people are chiming in with El Cubanos. El Cubanos are good. Those
yes.
Yeah, those are fantastic sandwiches.
Are you a Portos fan, John?
Yes, and yeah, like I have a complicated relationship with Portos because I'm not actually the biggest fan of their sandwiches, but I love their pastries.
Oh yeah.
So
that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, so I don't go there for the sandwiches, but I'll go there for the pastries like a mofo. I will stand in that line. Right?
Oh, I'll stand in that. I know, but also they might be doing that anymore. I haven't even checked on Portos. They're here in Burbank with me. I haven't even checked to see how they're doing in this. PC knows. PC knows what's up.
Yeah, PC does it. She's hands up with that Portos. Ryan C says, I have support, thankfully, but on a lighter note, the best sandwich is a fried egg, smoked cheddar sausage, and Kojang? I don't know what that is. Gochujang on an English muffin. What is a gochujang? Is that a miss?
It's a rupee.
I got to look this up.
That's something.
It's a red chili paste that is savory, sweet, and spicy, fermented from chili powder, rice, meiju powder, some other name I can't pronounce, and salt. Wow. Okay.
Okay, Ryan C. Follow-up question. A Gucci gang. Ryan C. Follow-up question for you is: would someone as white as me be okay with the spice level on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Ryan Chandler says, hey, Kate and Roca, your stories are great. You both have the eye of the tiger, or lion in Kate's case. Life may knock you down, but you two are survivors. I mean, you've been online today for like 4 hours, for like hours and hours. You deserve a break. Thanks again. Thank you, Ryan. That's very kind of you. I enjoyed doing
Thank
this.
you. That's so nice.
Kate, how did you get involved in the Schmoedown? Like, how did this? I mean, I know you were like Christian brought you onto the shows with Collider Live and then eventually SCN Live, but how did the Schmoedown thing come about? Do you just? I mean, Christian has one of those like he's got one of those magical powers where he whispers into your ear, and then eventually you're like, oh yeah, the Schmoedown seems like cool, like it's a cool thing to do. How did you get involved with all of this?
So when he and Ellis had started the Schmoes Know movie reviews, I was actually part of that. In, like, the front end.
Okay.
I did like a couple reviews for them, and I forget what company they ended up like early on, like started throwing them stuff. I want to say it was that channel.
Is it Toad Hop?
Oh my God. No, it was like a channel that got in trouble for misreporting news. This was like before Fake Journal, but it was like, God, what was it called?
Reels channel? No.
I don't know what it was. It was, oh God, I'll have to look at it. But anyway,
okay.
They started sending stuff to them to review. So they had me do a Britney Spears album review when she came out with that Me Against the Music, and I did that. Like he was like, but do it as do parts of it as Britney, because that was part of my stand up. And then, but we would go to Christian's apartment on Blackburn at the time,
right?
And rest in peace to that apartment building. And we would he would put me in his kitchen pantry to film it. And I remember doing the Changeling. They sent me to watch the Changeling, and then I'd show up and they would give their review. I would give mine. Mm-hmm. And that sort of went away eventually. I don't know. We just sort of, everybody fell out. Again, I stopped doing stand-up so much.
Right,
okay.
right.
I don't need it. Hi. we were doing Slip and Slide earlier.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the baby just came in sopping wet. And we had told him he was going to go to bed without me tonight. I wasn't going to see him. So anyway, but anyway, so then I feel like we would run into each other throughout the years. Our careers sort of did very different things. I remember running into him in Westwood once. He was out to dinner with his wife, and they had already had a kid, and I had maybe just I think it had even been when I just lost a baby, maybe I had a miscarriage. And I feel I remember seeing them and being oh, good, they're with their kid, good for that. You know what I mean? It was, we just sort of we would sort of come back in and out of each other's lives, but it was never the right time. And then he had been I knew the Schmoedown was becoming a thing. I knew that it was becoming a big deal.
Yeah.
And I just didn't he's you got to come on my pod. You got to come on. And I didn't realize he was talking about Collider Live at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about movies. And he's you don't have to. And then I was well, where is it? And he was it's in Burbank. I was okay, fine.
Close enough.
Really I was having 2 kids at the time. You know what I mean? Just it just takes up so much time. And so, and also I nursed both of them for a while.
Yeah.
Physically remove yourself from your kids is when you're nursing. And so anyway, it was sort of the perfect time. He started having me on Collider Live. And I always say it was basically he snuck me into the party. Then he got kicked out of the party and I had to sneak out. Fernandez to this day doesn't know on that show, I don't think.
There's not much Fernandez does know. I'll be honest with you. There's not much he does know. If you want an honest opinion. No, but I love the fact that that's how you play. All of a sudden you walk out of the main room. Have you guys seen Christian? Everyone's totally silent, looking at the ground. Yeah. And you're oh, I want to go out the back.
I just back out. I was having a good time at the party, having fun, meeting people, started a new Twitter account, got back into stand up. And then I was huh? Oh, and slowly. Yeah.
That is funny as hell. Ryan C is enlightening us. It says it's a mild hot sauce and he is whiter than snow. So I guess you're all right to use it. There you go. No, Ben, Christian did not get fired. Christian and what is it? They came to an agreement and Christian left to go start SCN Live.
I didn't mean get kicked out. That was my analogy. Yeah.
No. You don't have anything to apologize for. It was a whole weird situation anyway. Mukbang says she's amazing. Thanks for another great interview. I agree. She is amazing.
Thank you.
What do you enjoy the most about doing it? What after all this time now coming back to it, what do you find that you're more comfortable up on that stage? You give a fuck less so you're more relaxed doing your comedy, or are you more in your head than you ever were before?
100%. And you can, and that there's so much less to lose now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty clear on now. It's not going to be my career, but when you're in your 20s and you still think this is going to be what I do. You are if it goes bad, it's bad. Listen, I had a rough show in New York and I took it pretty hard. I have to say, and part of the reason why I think that show ended up being rough was because I cared too much, because I was traveling, because I had family coming in to see it. And so but you talk about the best set I've done recently was probably at my kids' preschool fundraiser. It was my first time back, and I was just these people don't know shit. Meanwhile, I had actual legit Jamie Kaler, Mark Ellis, they were all Atsuko, what's her last name? Oh my God. But she's you look her up. She's an unbelievable comedian. They were all doing this benefit for me. This other guy, Steven, who's a parent at the school. Yeah. And they were all that set was so, and I was like, thank you. Like, because I just felt like so relaxed up there. It was my first time back. I felt like I was home again. It was just, I was able to tell jokes that it just didn't, the stakes weren't high. Cause I was like, at the end of the day, if I didn't do a good set tonight, I'm going to go home and I'm going to still have my 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
That I can snuffle, you know, like that's what I like to do to them. I call it snuffling.
Yeah. My girl likes to bite my cheeks. Like this is something she started doing. She said, I'd never do this with any other boyfriend I've ever had, but for you, for some reason, I always want to eat your cheeks off. And so it's very cute when she does it. I love it. It's very cute, but like, I've never known that this was a thing.
Yeah.
That people do this.
There is there's like a pheromone thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like people's body chemistries can like really match up in a way. Like I definitely like there's something about Dickie's neck, like the way it's like I would go away for the summers and but I would go away for the summers and I'd be like, you need to give me one of your shirts. And I would like take a shirt of his with me for like 6 weeks in the summer. And I would like smell it. Because it just, there was something about it that I was like, oh, I love it. I want to squeeze them. I want to smash them.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. We got one. Do we already put up this? Yes, we already put that one up. Let's put another super chat up here. That is from Larry Lease. He says, I agree. Kate, Britney Spears always sounds like a toddler. It's so true. It's so true.
I forgot that was the Britney Spears, but that's like, yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
Have you gone to the experience? Do you know that she has that experience over there by the Whole Foods on 3rd Street?
No.
Oh my God.
What?
They have what used to be the Kmart there, the massive Kmart. Britney Spears and her people yeah, it's gone. That Kmart is gone. That shitty ass Kmart is gone. They bought the whole place and they've set up a Britney Spears experience. And it's like $60 a ticket. And I have wanted to do this. And Kate, if you're down, I would love to go do this.
I would love to do this with you.
Okay.
Oh my God, I would 100% do that.
Oh God. Okay, good. Because my girlfriend will not do it. She will not go with me. but if we do, it's like $60 a ticket. I want to do a whole Instagram thing. I want to do an influencer thing and just kind of walk through the whole thing, experiencing it. Because it's just mind blowing to me. They would do a Britney Spears experience like that right in the heart of LA. And it's just this massive warehouse area. And I was like, okay, all right, let's see what this is all about.
Is there a room where we go shave our heads and then come out and beat people with an umbrella?
No, but I think there's a room where you can wrap the snake around your neck, the massive snake around your neck.
Well, that was the other thing. I used to always end my stand-up set with, I used to do a literal dance to Slave for You.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't sound that funny. It might not have been, honestly. But that was always how I ended it. And I remember Christian being like, "You hack! You have to have music playing in order to do to close out." Like yeah, yes, I do. And if it doesn't work, then I'm screwed.
That's Christian for you. Hack.
You hack.
Andrew L says, Kate, you've been an awesome part of SCN. I'm glad Christian brought you in. Can't wait till the pandemic is over and see all the crew back together without the Zoom stuff. Yeah, it's been kind of like when I was finding my rhythm with you all, it was so much fun doing the Monday shows with you guys. To have that pandemic come in and kind of stop us for a little bit, it's kind of sucked because I was enjoying those Monday shows so much.
I was too, and I not even like about like the frequency with which Christian can have us on. I understand it's not. Yeah. It's just too hard. I get it. I mean, an email would have been nice, but no, I get it. But I would say, like, Dickie, when I left today, he was like, "Are you okay? Like, what? You seem like you're sort of in a state." And I'm like, "Well, it was a long morning." And I knew that then I was like jumping back into mom duty. But I was like, "There's just something a little lost doing it. We can't vibe the same way because I'm so worried about like even now I'm like, is my internet lagging? Because if it is, I don't want to be like talking over John. Like, you just can't." Flow the same way. And that must be like when you like interviewed Brian Cox, like God, like, that must be so, because normal conversation you say things like yeah, but I feel like it has to be like, here's my statement over, here's my statement over. It doesn't seem to flow the same way. I'm like, even though I had to drive somewhere and like that sometimes was a drag, like I loved being with people in person. It was to do the show. Yeah,
I mean, I agree with you. The Brian Cox thing was a bit frustrating because I didn't know when he was done with his sentence. And I think if I was in the room with him,
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have cut him off. I feel like I cut him off 3 or 4 times.
By the way, I didn't know you did. I was just saying, like,
No, it's a great.
I'm sure you're finding that, like, especially with like with real interviews, because you're actually doing real interviews. It's very daunting to do it this way.
Yeah.
I was not criticized. I did not know that you cut him off.
No, it's not a criticism. It's absolutely true. You know, it's a fair.
I didn't see it. I didn't know. I wasn't bringing it up because I thought you should. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing. Like, one thing if you cut me off. Like, it's one thing if RB3 and I keep talking over each other. But you got somebody like Brian Cox. Like, I'd be like, is that the end of this? Okay, perfect. Because I would like to follow that. I can't imagine.
Well, to me, it's always like you have to walk that line of like, well, do I cut him off to get to the next point? Or, you know, because if I sit back and wait for him to finish, I feel like I'm an amateur interviewer. Whereas if I want to be jumping on to the next thing, you know, like Charlie Rose could do that. Charlie Rose, people could ask questions and he would just let them go on. He was just staring at them. And then when they were done, he could like shuffle his notes and then go. And so maybe that's a trick I can use going forward, is like just listening to them. And then when they're finished, I can just like pretend to shuffle through my notes and then ask the next question that I was already thinking about asking. But yeah, it can get a bit frustrating, especially the longer ones, like the hour-long ones. They can be a bit but I feel like it's great practice for me. And I'm very fortunate that all these publicists are still sending me their clients to be able to interview for my channel, which is still building, you know. So I'm very lucky.
I think it's fantastic, and I'm still like, I'm so shook that you had Brian Cox. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, I'm negotiating to get Bruce Willis. That's the next one. If I can get Bruce Willis, I'd really be like hitting the apex on that. So
God. even like a 5-minute with Bruce Willis.
Kate, a lot of people agree with Saul here. They said you did not have a rough show in New York at all, and that you're being unduly hard on yourself. Where is it? Yeah, there's a lot of people here who felt that you were great in New York.
Thank you. I turned it around. Let me tell you something. I can make excuses for this all day. The bottom line is I don't do this enough to do it seamlessly. And the problem was I was very thrown. I usually have I never look at it, but I usually have my set list and like keywords with me. And I put it usually on a stool. Now the stage in New York was so small that you couldn't even put a stool. I had to put my drink on a guy's table. I was like, you're holding my drink now. So I then had to have it, and I had to like put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many stand-up shows I've done, never had to look at the set list. Or if I did, you know, it's glancing down at the stool while you can say something else. You can be like,
right.
It was burning in my pocket. I was like, don't. And then I had to like pull it out and like look at it. And it was the whole, I'm like, I can't believe it. And then I just but I then finished off very strong.
Oh, there you go.
Which I'm happy about. And then like, thank God Mark Ellis was the most darling of all times. He let me come back up on stage later, and like my family, I got to introduce my family and stuff. Yeah. So I felt like a little like, but anybody that remembers the beginning of that is like, yeah, it was dicey. Especially because, like, we have you know this, Roca, we have the best fans in the whole world. I've never gotten a response when the host called me to the stage, the roar, and I'm not like Brad. I'm like, it was totally undeserved.
Oh yeah.
So then I had to earn that roar, and there was no way that I did. I just was like, oh, it was, mistakes were made. Let's just put it that way.
All right. Well, a number of people disagree, but you know, I get it. When you're the performer up there, it's hard to be objective because you're just really experiencing it all in real. Having only been up there 4 or 5 times, it's an interesting experience to say the least. Larry Lee said bad timing, but you did a great Cosby impersonation. What was that joke?
I don't remember what. I said that like there are certain impressions that you can't do. Like I can do a Britney Spears, but I can't. Like white women shouldn't be doing black men, because I think that's what it was.
That's a joke within itself. Yes.
Yeah, but I was like, no, white women should be doing black.
Hey-o,
how very dare you? But no, I think I was like, because when I do it, I look like a crack. I was like, I don't even know if I could still do it. Somebody reminded me of one of my favorite jokes. Oh God. And I was like, I completely forgot that they're like dick tasting dick. And I was like, what? And they told me, and I was like, Oh, that's right. I used to do this joke where I was like, I feel like guys are always like, yeah, I've got a girlfriend, or as I like to call her, the end of blowjobs. And I was like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, guys. If you get even one blowjob in a year, that is an amazing statistic when you consider the fact that your dick tastes like a dick. You're not going to get anything with a dick tasting dick. And like, people were like, dick tasting dick, huh? And I was like, what is brilliant. Dick tasting? I don't remember that. And now I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Jesus, I want that in a promo some point when you drop it.
John, remember how you said you could edit things out? Let's edit that out.
Sweaty Ben sent in. Sweaty Ben sent in. He said, hey, John and Kate, I love you both. Have you tried Capriotti's sandwiches? They have Delouse sandwiches there. I think there's one in downtown LA. Not sure, but highly recommended. Also, sorry for breaking you guys this morning. Just kidding. LOL. Good luck with MTS. I guess he was mentioning the airplane discussion we were having. Yes. Oh, God. That one shattered us, you know. That's the thing about the show.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, Kate, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think Capriotti's, there's one in Santa Monica, maybe.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is that the place?
It's
I think there's
like there's places. I think it's like in Vegas. It's like a big Vegas place.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know there's a great place in El Segundo that Lindley took me to that has really great subs, and it looks like like they just built the place overnight. But you go in there and you're just like, oh, this is incredible. This food is fantastic. So yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah. Justin Square literally came in the stream with the first words I hear is dick tasting dick. LOL. That's right.
Well,
love it. Love it. All right, let's bring on some live people to answer you some questions. Let me adjust the brand so we can see their faces. Where is it? This one? Yeah, boom. All right, let's bring in the guy who's been waiting the most. Shug Knight. There he is.
Baby.
How you guys doing today? John, what's going on, man? This hostility toward me. First I robbed Kate and my $2 isn't enough for you. What's going on? Why are you so angry at me?
I raised a better son, and you're not showing it. Jesus Christ!
I know. I apologize. I apologize, Dad. Yes. My bad.
Thank you.
So Roca, I wanted to ask you about Kate, and I wanted to ask you about Schmoedown because that I love talking Schmoedown.
Mm-hmm.
If you had Kate as a manager back in the day, how good do you think she would have been as a manager for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, back in the day, like when I first what day? Because I've had 4 separate eras in the Schmoedown. So which era are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. You remind us all the time.
I do. Why don't you plug the Let's Get Ready podcast again?
I didn't plug it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I didn't plug anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Son. Don't say shit, son. Go ahead.
No, I would probably say you're like, your third reign. I think that, the more modern day Schmoedown.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be how would you think you would do fare with Kate being your manager at that time?
I don't know if I would trust Kate initially because she didn't know that much about the Schmoedown coming in. To be honest, I would be a little nervous about it.
I'm not offended.
Yeah, but then as we had more conversations and I felt more comfortable, and I told Kate, look, this is what I need. This is what helps me. This is what works for me. I think Kate and I have the kind of relationship where I could just tell her exactly what I would need from her in certain moments. And I think Kate would absolutely adjust her manager style to fit within what I needed. She's not a hard ass, but she's a good supporter and she's very much in your corner. So I think she would have been essentially in that way in the kind of shakier moments that I had during my third reign for sure. So yeah, I would have loved to have had Kate as a manager. We would have figured it out eventually.
Would you have loved to have been Roca's manager?
Oh God, yeah, but also Roca's one of those people I don't like. There are some people. I feel like even a lot of people on my team don't need a manager. I think that there is a mental load that the manager needs to carry for the players. Roca doesn't need anyone to advise him if he should spin the wheel first or second. Roca, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't need any help playing the game. What he needs is like a person that's gonna be like, no, we can't do that. No, we're not taking that match. No, you know what I mean? Like he needs somebody to take the mental load on him for him so that he can keep doing everything he does, which is what I was talking about this earlier, which is why I didn't want Ben Goddard to have to work every single match that he was doing. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, I actually said to Ben, I remember saying this to Ben, like, I will you tell me what I need to do, I will work that shift for you. I remember saying this, and he's like, no, because I think I don't think he wanted to look like a prima donna, but it was me being like, I don't want you to have a mental load going into this thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, are you kidding? Like managing Roca, like it's an oxymoron. Nobody manages Roca.
That's very true. That is very true.
That's true.
I feel like if like would I love to have him on my fat? Yeah, of course. Are you kidding? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
John
appreciate
Rocha on
that.
the Den. John Rocha on the Den would be amazing.
No, the Den is chock full of people. They don't need me. The Den is full of some really great players. You don't need me on there.
The Den is
we always need a good Latino on the Den.
Who's this wee crap? Who's this wee crap? Is he?
I'm a Den chill. I don't deny it. I'm a Den chill.
See, that's why you wouldn't have made the Outlaw Nation Schmoedown. Everyone's objective. Go ahead. Yes.
He's also a little bit of a swag shill.
Oh
no, not really.
Are you dripping?
He says drip. He says drip all the time.
Really?
No. I went to the doctor and got that looked at. No, I did not.
I bet you did. I bet you did, Chief. I mean,
I didn't know you.
You took those $300 from Kate's friend and you went to the doctor for it. I know what you did.
Yeah. Actually, Kate, just to let you know, I do have your DVDs in the back. Do you want them back?
Could I get those back? I need to make it real.
Got them. I'll bring them.
Hey,
can you meet me at the same place?
Yeah. 5th and Spring. I'll be there. I'll be the one that looks like a white chick that's scared.
That's usually the ones I go for.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for stopping.
I love you both. Thank you very much, you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for coming in, man.
That
He is so awesome. All right, let's get to our next one here. Zombie Custom Maps. What's up, dude? How you doing, brother, man? He's not even listening. He's not even listening. God. Are you listening? Are you on?
I can't believe I'm seeing Zombie Custom Maps for the first time ever.
Well, I caught up to the show. Oh, crap. Oh, I'm in here. Let me put my headphones on.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Let me turn my mic on.
Zombie Custom Maps.
Can't hear you. Can't hear
you.
How about now? Nope, can't hear you.
I'll tell you what he's saying. He's saying,
I'm going to bring you back. I'll bring you back in, buddy. I'll bring you back in.
We'll come back.
We'll come back to you.
He could hear us, right?
Oh, boy. This one I'm worried about. Alan Smithy, the director. He is here. Oh, boy, Alan.
What's up, Roca and Kate?
How's it going?
I'm fine. I'm wearing this special hat in honor of tomorrow. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. It's terrible. I think it's got like Greedo on the back. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wait, I hate to ask. Oh, because of the Star Wars tournament. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Come on. Wow. You've been online too long today, Kate.
Yes, I sure
I know. That's why you carry around those little baggies of lasagna, because you got to eat on the go. So I understand.
I have to figure out what I'm going to pull out tomorrow. All right. Thank you for reminding me.
That's right. Hey, before we get into the discussion of the Schmoedown, I want to say that, like, in addition to the films Roca mentioned that you were in, you're in like 2 Neveldine and Taylor movies, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
2, not one.
What is this, Neveldine and Taylor?
The directing team behind Crank High Voltage.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, they're great dudes. So the production company that I used to work for, actually, and on one of the movies that they directed, he ended up marrying Neveldine married the woman Allison. Oh God.
You were getting some behind the scenes stuff.
I mean, like anybody that
is she an actress?
She was an actress, yes. And
okay.
She was I want to say it was the movie Gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, in Mexico. But she was in it, and
okay.
But they ended up getting married. I mean, it's such a sweet story. But yeah, they did Crank High Voltage, and
I love Crank.
Yes, yeah, and Crank 2 High Voltage, I think, was the one that I was in, and then but anyway,
she doesn't even remember what movie she's been in.
Allison Lohman? Allison Lohman?
Yes.
He married Allison Lohman?
Yes. Allison Lohman. Yes.
He is this ex-stunt guy, and I guess they're kind of studly.
She's no. Like he's a gorgeous dude. Yeah.
All right. You
Yeah.
were also in 2 Gerard Butler movies, by the way. So I assume, have you ever met Jerry B?
I sure have.
All right.
Yeah, what was that experience like?
I'm in the Action Army on the side, so I got to ask these questions.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
Jerry is.
He's awesome.
There's some Jerry stories, but he's a great. So he's the first person that I ever talked to that was Scottish that I was like, what are you even saying, sir? Like but he's got such an interesting story because he used to be he was studying to be a lawyer before he got not 300. There was like some what was it? There was a movie that he like just got
Rain of Fire. He was in that before.
He played. It was like a PBS something like whatever it was.
Okay.
Anyway, that pulled him out of law school, but he's.
I like him way better as an actor than a lawyer myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
Mrs. Brown? Is it Mrs. Brown?
No, it was like he played somebody like Achilles. It was something like he played like a made for. I have to look it up.
Tale of the Mummy. No.
One
More Kiss.
What is IMDb out?
God.
Dracula 2000. He played Dracula.
Gerard. It was
Attila. Was it Attila the Hun?
It was Attila the Hun.
Attila
All right.
the Hun.
Was he Attila the Hun?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Yes, he was Attila the Hun.
Right.
Fascinating.
But I was in a bunch of movies with him, and I got to tell you, he's one of those people that like has a great memory. Like we saw each other at AFM again one year, and he remembered me, and but he just honestly, I think what Jerry likes about me was that like I was unfazed by him. Like I had seen 300, but like I just think that like every extra on those movies was like, please sir, may I suck your dick? You know what I mean? And I was sort of
Jerry B's dick tastes like a dick, so the answer is no.
Well,
dick.
It's a higher level.
I don't know that myself, but I'm just assuming.
But I remember like I remember like the first thing I said to him was like, boy, you really need to work out. And like he thought that was so funny. So yeah, we
But you weren't even kidding. You were like, you could do with a little extra pecs, you know? Come on. Your six pack is looking a little weak there, Jerry.
Yeah.
This is a bit doughy, if you don't mind me saying, Jerry.
He had come to the hotel and he was like with his dog. I think her name was Lola. And he was like, he was talking to me, and then my phone went off, and my phone ring used to be the Super Bowl shuffle. And he was like, what in God's name is that? And I was like, I was so deeply embarrassed. It was the only time I've ever been embarrassed of the Chicago Bears. Okay, that's not true. That's not true. I've always been embarrassed of the Chicago.
Just a little bit. The Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears.
That's not even music.
Yeah. I did want to bring up a specific subject matter to discuss with you for a moment, if you have a moment.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about proper Schmoedown online hand positioning. Okay. Now you're going to be on tomorrow, Kate, and your guy, Sean Sullivan, the Saint, he's up for bat. Now, last week, I saw Ace Cabrera. Now, Ace is a great guy. I mean, that guy, I don't even know him, and I think he's a great guy. He's no Brandon Hanna. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we do. Ace did great, but his hand positioning left a lot to be desired. He made a rookie mistake, and he picked a hand position I like to call the mime. Okay. That's not a cool hand position. Now, his opponent selected the classic, which is just a resting hand position like this. And you can even do this to be kind of like intellectual. You could twiddle your thumbs to annoy the other competitor. All right. Yeah. Then there's a popular hand position, which I think the Schmoedown is going to adopt, which is called the rapper.
Oh.
You see that?
Oh, I see. Okay.
You can see there's nothing. What's up?
The Molly Shannon.
That's the Molly. Yeah, that's more what that looks like.
The superstar. Yeah.
There are too many white people in the Schmoedown for them to be doing the rapper stance. Yep. Okay.
Right. Well, that's why I picked the term rapper, because I figured that could be anody. You know, everyone loves a good rapper.
Sure.
My favorite hand position for myself is called the dude.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
There's no shenanigans going on back here. It's not like I have my iPhone strapped to the back of my head and I'm Googling the answers. You know, come on.
Yeah, true.
Right.
For a guy like Ace, I think that Roxy said like multiple times, she's like, Ace is so cute. Ace is so cute. I hate his guts. Ace is so cute. So he can pull off the cute hand position, which I like to call the cutie pie.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Even I look slightly cuter doing the cutie pie hand.
A little bit.
position.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like 1%.
I had a weird tingle just go through me in my nether regions, and I can't explain it. But yes, you do look cuter in that moment. So
there you go.
I don't know what to do with that. I'm uncomfortable now, and you've made me question things. I don't appreciate it.
Kate, what was your favorite? What do you think you're going to recommend tomorrow to Sean?
I will say I think Catholic Kid.
The Catholic Kid?
Catholic Kid is good. Catholic Kid is good.
Yeah. Or here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door, see all the people.
Oh. Can't you do this? You can do this, can't you? It's not necessarily messing with them. Is it like you could do this for the whole time?
That's probably true. That's
out. Oh yeah, there you go, Smith.
You can do like Vogue.
Yeah.
I'm Madonna. That'll distract the other person.
What about the Henry Cavill?
That's a wheeze. Pauly Shore wheeze the juice.
Yeah,
there you go. Well, before you send me away, I got to apologize to both of you guys because earlier today I made a slightly inappropriate joke about a donkey.
The donkey punch. That was funny. That broke us up. That was a good one. I like that.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good
I
one.
felt that Ben Goddard was about to like rush back and kick me out of the
No.
So I didn't know what was going on, but
Ben's a bit of a prude, so we have to kind of bring him along. I mean, remember when Kate was farting in his face and Ben was like, "Oh, you got to kind of
make the full on."
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
But anyway,
before we let you go,
I actually looked up the donkey punch after I made the joke, and it is like way worse than I thought it actually was.
It is. But that's why you don't
sure what I was playing with there. And
that's why you don't use your real name, Alan. It's smart.
My real name.
Answer this question. Alan, when are you debuting in the Schmoedown? Andrew Hale wants to know.
Man. I guess it's only fair that a person like me would have to enter the fan leagues first and do well in the fan leagues. So I got to do that.
Okay.
But I'm scared of all these kids with all their inner geekdom knowledge and Star Wars. I'm more of a general player. I haven't watched the Harry Potter movies 5 times, but I can answer various questions about Moscow on the Hudson. So that's all. That's where I'm at.
Nice shot.
I'm in that league. I'm in the Snyder League. And I know people rip on Snyder, but I just got to remind everyone, Snyder said the exact same thing Scorsese said. And everyone loves Scorsese for saying
true.
it.
That's true.
And they hate Snyder.
Yeah. Well, he's a hateable guy.
I like Snyder.
In the best way possible.
And I want to see his cut. But that's just me.
Well, that's why he called this podcast what he called it. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate you stopping in, brother.
Everyone.
Always good to see you, brother. That was hilarious.
He's what a fun guy that is.
He's been coming on the last 3 weeks, and he has just been brilliant with his comments and his quotes. So I love it when he's in the chat.
I love it.
All right, let's see if we got custom maps. Are you ready now?
We got it. Yes. It's it was this. I was playing Assassin's Creed. I told the chat, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't have my mic, corrected.
Right.
While I was doing that, I was looking up Donkey Punch on Urban Dictionary.
No!
Okay, can we talk about it? No. It's actually no. I'm not gonna do it. It's too dirty. It's too dirty.
My mom might be watching this show. Go ahead.
Oh God, Brett's mom's not watching this. No. I'm gonna say, Kate, I'm such a big fan of you. I love
I'm such a big fan of you. I'm so glad to meet you.
Really?
Yes, DCM custom zombie custom maps. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. Setting in all those impressions and shit. My mind just goes all like that. But I just want to say that I'm a super big fan of you, and I just find you bring such a charming essence to the whole Schmoedown, and it's just really nice, and I really like that a lot.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say.
Yeah. If you guys want to roast me about me playing this game while not being set up, it's
no, it's all right.
No. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you guys, are you interested in getting HBO Max at all? Because it's coming out tomorrow.
Right. Good question. Yeah.
I know you guys were talking. I know Kate was like, "What's the difference?" They made a video. I think HBO posted a video a couple days ago, actually, and they said the actual differences between HBO Now and HBO Go. And I think HBO Go is like, you don't have to have a cable provider to access those HBO shows and movies or something. Right. And it's one of the two. But essentially, one is like if you don't have a cable provider, and then one is if you don't. But HBO Max is it true that Criterion's on it?
Yes, there are
Roca?
some Criterion
I
titles,
think,
but
yeah.
not a lot. Not a lot. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No, but
Yeah.
I want to throw it to the floor with you guys and want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Kate. Any thoughts on HBO Max?
So I don't have cable, so I have HBO now. So I pay what is it, like $14.99?
Yeah, 15 a month.
Yeah, 15 a month to have all HBO shows.
Yeah.
Which I would keep doing. I would have to see, like, if there's a price, if I have to, because then somebody today said that HBO Now subscribers are just immediately going to be bumped to max.
Yeah.
But if it's a choice I have to make and there's a dollar differentiation, I would probably at this point not do it, only because I got video games for the first time in my life when this pandemic began, and I'm not watching anything anymore. I'm just, honest to God, playing Lego Harry Potter and Animal Crossing. I want nothing. There's something so soothing about Animal Crossing, and it's also like I get to go on planes and go to other islands, and I'm like, I can't go on a plane in real life. It's like so cathartic. Which I know probably makes me a very sad person, but I probably wouldn't do it right now. But once the pandemic has once real life is happening again, I don't feel like I need to just be by myself at the end of the day and like just be in my world, I probably will I would probably bump up if it had stuff that I really felt like I didn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the HBO Max content, even if you don't get it now, I don't feel like you're missing a lot, because I don't think they're not provide. I don't really see anything that they're providing other than, they mentioned they're doing a Game of Thrones spinoff show sometime later in the future, and then they're doing like a Green Lantern show or something. But that's pretty much it. And talking about video games and stuff, this Assassin's Creed game, I get to go and visit Greek times. I get to go and see where Oedipus took place and where the Battle 300 took place. So that's a lot of fun. Roca, I know you said you made a Twitch. You could, if you wanted to, you could start playing video games and such like that.
I mean, I have like 3 video games. One of them is Red Dead Redemption 2 for sure. I have FIFA and I have Madden. But I don't know if I want people to watch me throwing shit at the wall in frustration, but I guess that's part of it. of it. So
if you went head to head with Ben Goddard in 2K or Modern Warfare, that would probably be a good idea.
Wait, NBA 2K?
Maybe. Yes.
Is that what does he play NBA 2K?
He plays Modern Warfare. I know that.
Oh, okay. I don't know
Warfare. He also started streaming right as you started streaming on the show too. And I was
today? Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, of course he did. Okay, Benny boy. All right, Benny boy.
Yeah, not checking the Streamlabs.
All right. Okay. Oh wow.
No, but before I go, I just love you guys and love everything you do, and I hope we can all go back. And I want to go to another live show. I mean, I went to the one in Houston last year, and that was so much fun. I didn't have the privileges to meet Roca and Kate, but I hope I could meet you guys in some future event.
We will meet someday. And also, I wasn't at the Houston show, so you didn't miss anything with me.
I can't wait.
I'm so glad to finally put a face to the name. It's so
I know. Yeah. That's the greatest thing about the show. Yeah.
And thank you so much for all of your support. You're one of those people that, like, God, you're like a legend,
I mean, praise Anthony Nugent and all those guys, Shug and all those guys. Larry Lease.
Shug, Larry Lease, totally. There's like an all-stars team of you guys.
I don't know. They're stealing from Mark Cuban or something. Like, I don't know. Where it's coming from, you know what I mean?
I got to get him on my show. That's for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks, bud. Good to see you.
So nice to meet
you guys. Nice to meet you.
Take care.
Wait, did we get his real name?
What's the real name?
It's Alex.
Alex.
Yeah,
there you
it sounded like you said Dallas. I'm like, that's wow. All right. Okay. Alex.
That's a good name. I like that. No, it's Alex. Yeah.
Alex,
Sander.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Alex.
All right.
I like Dallas Alex. I like that. Bring in Dallas Alex. Ryan C wants to know, what's your drink of choice? Mine is AMF, the Adios motherfucker. What is your drink of choice?
Wait, what is Adios motherfucker?
Oh, I'll look it up. What's your drink of choice?
Quarantine, I have been right now I'm having a very low alcohol, high flavor beer. The Golden Road Melon Cart. Which is like after like the LA fruit vendors.
Yes.
There's also spicy mango that I love.
Ooh.
But no, I think right now I've been going in on Moscow mules, just going in on them.
Oh, well, on the Moscow mules. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Or an Irish buck, which is like a Moscow mule, but with whiskey, with Irish whiskey.
Okay.
I love anything with ginger beer or like a ginger puree. I just love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Adios motherfucker is a half ounce of vodka, half ounce of rum, half ounce of tequila, half ounce of gin, half ounce of blue curacao, 2 ounces of sweet and sour mix, Sprite or 7-Up to top, and garnish it with a lemon wedge and preserved cherry. So there you go.
Ryan C., are you still in your 20s? How can you possibly drink that? I would be dead. That is the drink if I want to kill myself. I'd be dead. Could you drink like that now?
Not anymore. No. Jake Iacovetta has been claiming that he can drink me under a table, and I'm like, I don't think so. But if you start going to the cocktails, then maybe you can win that fight. But not if we start drinking straight liquor, But I can never tell with Jake. I can never tell with Jake, But yeah, wow. I don't drink this fruity drinks anymore. Really, I mean, I'll have an occasional pina colada, but that's it. Yeah. That's what I'll have, the occasional pina colada. Although those go to my head now. I get that 7-Eleven freeze brain. You know what I'm talking about? I hate that stuff. Oh, I do want that challenge, Jake. Talking your mess. I do want that challenge, Jake.
Also, Jake, if everybody is reporting you as being wasted from the live events, then it doesn't mean like you can hold your just because you drink a lot doesn't like you can't be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Jake?
Shit, Jake!
Actually, I love Jake.
Shit.
I love Jake. Jake's another one of the all-stars.
Keep doing my thumbnails. Don't. I was just playing playful.
Honestly, Jake is so legend.
I know. I love Jake. Jake's a good guy. Very good guy. Brennan, what's going on, man? What do you got for the lovely Kate Mulligan?
Hello.
Hi, Kate. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you. So nice to meet you.
Yes. Well, yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, it is nice to meet me. No, I'm wondering about the Star Wars matches. Do the questions have to be like if it's something that's spoken aloud in the film? Like if somebody says, who's Queen Amidala's advisor? We never hear his name on screen.
Right.
It's a great question.
So are the questions, should they be about where it's actually said on screen?
Good question.
That's a great question. That's actually like a good question for the whole league in general.
Yeah.
Because there's probably like if a movie takes place in Texas and they never say Texas.
Yeah.
But that they're in Dallas.
But yeah, you know
what I
it.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like what movie does Dallas Buyers or what state does the Dallas Buyers Club take place?
It's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
They never technically say Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably John could probably speak to this better than me. I think it can't be something that is only in the books. You know what I mean? It has to be something that is somehow prescient to the movie, but I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah. Interesting thoughts. Yeah.
I've seen I was just Smets was on the tail end of Schmoedown backstage, and we were talking about that with Star Wars, and he mentioned like every time he picks a Jedi that he likes when he watches a Star Wars movie, they die. Like for the first time when he were watching, they end up dying untimely deaths. But that dinosaur Jedi or whatever that thing was that he loved in the second film,
Coleman Trebor.
Yeah, Coleman. That they never say his name in the film, but
I'm signing up for the fan leagues.
Yeah, there you go. But so it is absolutely valid that the names that are not said in the as long as you see the person, then they are valid. Because if it's in the cast list, then I imagine that counts. So which is why I just jumping into the Star Wars League scares the living hell out of me. How much studying I'd have to do. It's crazy.
It's interesting that. Also with the thing with the last match where he said Quevedo said Ki Mundi instead of Ki Mundi.
Yeah.
And that brings up a whole, Was saying Obi Kenobi count? You know?
No, it doesn't count. Just like Kiadi Mundi doesn't count if you just say Ki Mundi.
Can't really.
Yeah.
So the fact that he got that one right was kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I can't say Luke. Well, he did. They reversed it. You know, they reversed it.
Yeah.
If you know so yeah, they did reverse it.
That's right. That's right. They did.
Yeah. So
that's you don't want those controversies because it's like it's like the technicalities like that. That's the rather like I don't know. There's part of me that's like, well, the spirit of the thing is like, did he know? He clearly knew, but
he knew it was.
Like, you need to have you do like I understand you have to have the exact right answer and
but he knew who it was.
Yeah, he knew who it was. Yeah, I mean, I feel for that, but
okay,
well, cool. Thank you, Brennan. Appreciate it, man. It's always good to see you
guys. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
He's great. I love Brennan. He's a patron of the Outlaw Nation, and he always comes and hangs out in the hangouts we do, and so it's always fun to see him. Let's hit a couple Streamlabs before we bring in a couple more people live here, Kate. Let's see. Oh yeah, Suge Knight says Suge Knight. He just said he donated a little bit. He said, "Just wanted to say, Kate and Roca are two people I look up to. Thank you for everything you do for the Schmoedown community. And Dad, I left your pills on the table with the prune juice. Hashtag Bandit Brigade. Hashtag Outlaw Nation. So there you go. He's probably out there modding Ben's Twitch stream. I'm sure. Trying to talk to the ladies there. Let's see. Alex O'Neill said Lego Harry Potter is the best. My wife and I have been playing one book each week and then watching the corresponding movie and making a drinking game out of it. So, Kate, thoughts?
Wow, so I have been reading the books with my son.
Mm-hmm.
So we just finished book 3. He's 5, so he's a little young. But he's got a really good attention span.
Yeah.
He has a horrible speech impediment. So, you win some, you lose some.
Okay.
I know I'm just joking. Cause like, I always feel like parents are like, my kid's so good at this. And I'm like, yeah, but what are they bad at? Like let's get to the real. Let's get to the real. So what I'm saying is I've got a 5-year-old that will sit and listen to me read him Harry Potter, but he can't speak. So.
Okay.
He's not so awake. I just realized he could probably hear me. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha. What a funny joke. Anyway, so I've been reading. I've been trying not to play ahead of the book that I'm in.
Right.
But it's so, and like, then once you finish, you go back for free play and you can go back in to like get all of the gold bricks and all the other stuff that you missed. But until you get to like year 4, there's a lot of spells you don't have. So you can't even, so basically once I think it's, oh God, it's like an R spell that once I learn it, I'm going to be able to go back and play all of the first 3 books and like open up things. It's the thing that opens. Well, you would know. You open up. Like with Revelio or something.
Returnio. I don't know. I to be honest with you,
like it unlocks things.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be able to go back and just clean up, get all my house crests. So I'm trying to get to that point.
Let me see, because I was at the park, but Emma Fife is more. Alohomora? Is that what it is? Alohomora?
No, it's like it's like an R one.
Okay.
Anyway, John, are you, because it was a job for you?
Here we go.
Are you not charmed by that place?
No, I loved it. I loved it. I just have never read the books. I only ever saw the movies, and so for me, it was when we went on a trip in Orlando. The show I do, the Geek Buddies, the 3 of us, we went on a trip to Orlando for a friend's wedding. And while we were there, we took a trip into the park and we went to the Harry Potter land in the park. And it was so immersive. And it was at a time in my life when I was like kind of sad about things in my life and not really in a good place. But it was so immersive. I felt like if I could just stay here for the rest of my life, I'd be really happy because it's like such a great place to be in. And you don't see anything of Orlando on the outside. It legitimately feels like you're in the world of Harry Potter. And so it moved me so much that when I came back from that trip, randomly, a friend of ours, maybe a week or 2 later, she put out something on her Facebook saying, hey, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios is looking for wand keepers. And at the time I was unemployed. So I was like, and I was doing acting and stuff, getting paid that way. But like, I was like, let's go see. And I got in there and I gave it respect while I was doing it, but I was never a Potterhead necessarily.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So that's
I just,
you know.
Oh God, I can see it from our yard, and
No,
I will sometimes go out and I'll like listen to one of the books on tape, and I'll just like look. I can see the escalators at Universal. I can like see the escalators, but I can also see like the castle. I just love it. I love the frozen butter beer. I just love it. I like love it so much. It's Reducto. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, Reducto. There it is.
I need to learn Reducto. Anyway.
But no, it's some of the best moments I've ever had as a human being, because when you're doing the Wand Keeper show, you know, you're doing that show for like 5 to 7 minutes. It's 30 people and you just constantly for 45 minutes. But like we can pick the right person. When you pick the right person, you kind of take them on an emotional journey, and for some people, it's really spiritual. I've had people cry. I've had people sob. I've had people like to have to take a moment and stay in the room for a little bit to kind of calm down from the experience. So it's been all of that. That's been an incredible thing that kind of like woke me up to how much people love Harry. That's what I'll never put it down, because I saw how it can really affect people's lives and really move people in such powerful ways. And it's not fake stories. These are not necessarily, I know they're fiction, but they're not really fiction for people who dial in, who maybe don't have a great family life or a great life on their own. They can disappear into this world of magic and kind of be hopeful about the world, the outside world as well. So I'll never put it down.
I'm telling you, one of the most special things ever, my niece got chosen to have her wand selected at Ollivander's, and we couldn't, because it's so dark in the room. We couldn't quite capture it. I will never forget the look on her face. It was just the most special. It was like, it just, I don't know, like it changed. It just changed her life, I feel like.
And we as performers, we live for the ones who want to do it, because sometimes you're in a room full of 30 people who are just like visiting the park and they could care less, and you pick someone, they're like, great, thanks, blah blah blah. But it's the people that really love it, that you love, because then you're like, okay, we're on this journey together. Like, you get it, I get it. We're going to try a couple of spells that aren't going to work. It's going to be fun for the crowd and you.
Funny. Yeah,
it's going to be fun. And then we're going to have a good time. But people who are like, oh, they're the worst. They kill everything you're trying to do. And so, I totally get it. Let's see. Ryan C says, it tastes like candy, talking about the adios, motherfucker. It sneaks up on you, and I'm 27. Gay people get the benefit of drinking girly drinks. Got to head out. Have a good night. Okay, thank you, Ryan.
He is in his 20s. 27, it's deeply in your 20s. Good for you.
That's when you're drinking like crazy. Let's see what else we got with the Streamlabs here. We had a few more that came through, a couple more rather. No, those are, I think that's every Streamlab that came through. So I'm making sure we got everybody. I yelled at Ben, and Ben said, sorry, Mom and Dad, for Twitch streaming at the same time as your show. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Ben. You son of a bitch. He's starting to feel himself more. He's starting to feel more part of the community. So he's starting to spread his wings a little bit. Little Ben Goddard. I get it.
I'll tell you what, I always feel bad for him on those SEN shows though, because he really has to be the taskmaster. And and he has to be that like reminds everybody about the Streamlabs.
Yeah.
It's his ass on the line. If he doesn't, like, I feel for him in this morning shows. I'm like, oh, he has to be the one that's like, okay, so I'm going to get back to. So if Kate can stop talking now, I would like to get back to these Streamlabs.
Yeah, because Christian will be on his ass if he doesn't. Malcolm, what do you got for me, brother? Well, welcome from Australia, my man, or New Zealand, rather. Sorry.
But it's just fun. Kate's become one of my favorite characters in the Schmoedown. I remember when she first started, the accent kind of threw me, and I didn't know what to make of it. But it's like it along the time, it just started growing on me. It's like, oh yeah, I see where she's going with this now.
Thank you.
But like talking about Lego games and all that, is what other movie franchise do you think would you like to see a Lego game made of? Because there's a whole lot of Star Wars Pirates of the Caribbean ones out there.
Oh.
I haven't done any of the Star Wars video games.
Okay.
I probably should. I sound like on Switch I can get one called like Jedi something or other. But yeah, what
are there Lego Star Wars? I know there's Lego Star Wars series. Was there a Lego Star Wars game?
If there was a Lego Star Wars game, I would. Is there a Malcolm? Is there a Lego Star Wars game?
There is plenty of Lego Star Wars, but there's one that's based on the original trilogy, one that's based on the prequels, one that's based on just Force Awakens.
Wow.
And a new one coming out shortly that's going to be based on the complete Skywalker saga.
Wow. Okay.
Well, now I know what I'm saving up for. Oh my God.
That's awesome. Oh, geez. I don't know what other franchise necessarily.
Rocky Lego.
I love that idea. How about Mission Impossible? How about Mission Impossible Lego? That would be kind of fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of like, I'm quite kind of curious to see a complete Pixar world Lego, because I know they did Incredibles back then, but like one that could encompass all the Pixar movies could be interesting.
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a Lego Jurassic Park short I remember that we watched. It was called like the Indominus Escape that my son loved. We like found him all of the Lego like shorts that we could watch on a plane once. I bet is there a Lego Jurassic?
There's a Lego Jurassic Park game as well.
So everything I picked, there's already. Oh my God, this is insane.
I like a couple of suggestions. Lego Home Alone. That'd be kind of interesting. I like that. Someone said Mortal Kombat Lego. Jeremy Miller said Mortal Kombat Lego. That could be fun.
Yeah, Jeremy.
And the other one is SEN Live could have a Lego game.
I would say I'm sure John would agree with me on this.
Yeah.
Definitely Lego Goonies, I would say.
Oh geez. Yeah, I'd probably be done with that in 2 minutes. I like this one. Lego Little Bobby and the Juice. Only for kids 17 and over. That's for damn sure. There's no way that should be allowed for anyone under 17.
Yeah, one thing they did a long time ago was a game called Lego Dimensions.
Oh yeah.
And that had various level based on other like properties. Like I think there was a Mission Impossible level as well as one of those Toys to Life games. But it's one that some of those games like that, some of the imagination that have come from those Lego games, just crazy.
Yeah, this is a Lego Dimensions Wreck-It Ralph. This is when I bought it. It's the only animated. This is my favorite animated film ever. So I when I saw it, I was like, I'll take it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that answer.
Why? Just because you're a bad guy does not mean that you're a bad guy. I mean, to me, I'm Wreck-It Ralph in that whole movie. And,
okay. I understand. I'm just like,
I
don't know.
I cry every time when he grabs the medal and he sacrifices himself at the end. Every time it's waterworks.
You don't feel like that movie jumps the shark a bit?
I'm sorry? Which one?
It ends up in like Candy Crush and like I don't know, like well anyway, sorry. We can have it.
How dare you? You're bringing this up late in the conversation now? You want to...
Sorry.
Thanks, man, Malcolm. Always good to see you, my man.
See you.
So nice to meet you.
He's so cool.
Oh my gosh, Malcolm. You have the sweetest, greatest fans.
Yeah. I love these people very much, and I make sure they're very respectful to everybody, and they're naturally respectful. They get it,
Yes.
So I always appreciate bringing them on.
Like to hear Malcolm talk to me about my accent is like.
I almost said something. I was like,
takes one to know one. I love his accent. Yeah. It's so funny because I don't know if I would guess New Zealand.
Oh, he's been on a few times, so I had to remember. But yes, it's a New Zealand accent. Calvin, what do you got, Calvin? What are you doing? Is you rolling,
what's going on, man?
Are you rolling the doob? What are you doing, bud?
No. I'm just rolling a cigarette. I'm
all
right. Fancy like you guys. No, this is straight up tobacco. Seriously.
Hey.
Nice. Ain't nobody judging, bro. You can smoke.
Yeah, I know. It's Outlaw Nation, son. I can do what I want.
That's right, son.
You like my shirt? You like my shirt?
I'd love your shirt, Millennium Falcon. It's great.
Yeah, man. I got this the other day. Anyway, but Roca, you stole my question earlier.
I stole
for Kate. Yeah, about how she got involved in Schmoedown and all that stuff like that. I was going to ask her that.
Well, you think I was going to ask a basic question like that, Calvin? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I was going to ask her a basic question, but I got something for better for that. But anyway, I want to tell you that I don't know, you might have looked in the comments and said first, I was talking about first to do StreamYards, to do what we're doing right now. You was the first to do that. I wasn't talking about I was going to be first. I was talking about you was first to do that. And everybody's copying you.
I know. I know.
know.
Welcome to my world, bro. Welcome to my world. Everyone copies.
I wasn't
the stuff
talking
I
about
do.
me being first. I was talking about everybody copying you. And I want to tell you, Kate. Now, kids don't smoke. Anyway, I got introduced as I take a drag real quick. Everybody's laughing. Okay, I got introduced to you, Kate, through Collider Live, and I fell in love with you, and then I got to see more of you through SEN, and then we know what happened with that. Everything. I mean, I know you'll be back. I know you'll be back, but you know what's coming.
Wait, I'm sorry.
But I think. Yeah, but I think that you'll be. I think that you'll be proud of me as a surrogate mother.
Oh,
I'm doing my own laundry right now. I've been doing my own laundry for years, but I've separated. I started separating like my mama taught me. I started separating my laundry today, and I wanted to show you this. Have you seen this?
What's that? Tell me about this.
These are color guards.
Color catcher.
Have you seen these?
No.
These are Shout color guards. You put those in, and you're supposed to be able to put whatever you want to in there, and it's supposed to catch all the colors.
Wait a minute.
And I was hoping you would seen something like this, a product like this before, and tell me if it fucking works.
So
you know what I mean? Have you seen this shit?
Okay, first of all,
oh man, Calvin.
What?
Calvin's my new favorite person on the planet.
What? I'm just asking.
Calvin, I feel like you are a Keegan Michael Key character waiting to happen.
I have no idea what that means.
What? You don't know who Keegan Michael Key is?
Keegan Michael Key. What's he in?
Key and Peele.
Oh, Key and Peele. Oh yeah. Are you saying that because I'm bald?
No.
Or you got something against bald people? Anyway, no.
Definitely not. I definitely couldn't. I would not be a good candidate for that.
No. So wait a minute. So okay, I'm legit straight up asking you. You never seen that before?
I have not seen that before, and I will tell you why. When I started having kids, I had to start. This is going to sound so bougie, but I went away from more conventional detergents. So
really?
Oh my god, I hate hearing myself back. Anyway, so I haven't used I maybe use all free and clear.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know Shout anymore.
Oh my god.
Or Tide. I couldn't tell you. Like when everybody's like, kids are eating Tide Pods. I'm like, what's a Tide Pod?
What's a Tide Pod? Wait, so you're saying you can throw this Shout?
Yeah. I'm still trying to learn this. What'd you say, Roca? I'm sorry.
Sorry, Calvin. No. Are you saying you can throw the Shout thing into the laundry and you can wash whites with colors and the colors will not bleed onto the whites?
That's what this says. That's what this shit is saying.
That is what Calvin needs to know, is if it's
and
true.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it because my mother always taught me to separate my colors.
That's true.
And that sounds fucked up now. I'm saying that out loud. But my mother always told me to separate myself.
No, we want to integrate.
Wait, your mom was against integration? I need to say.
I'm just saying. I do use Tide Pods in the dishwasher. I do use Tide Pods. I don't eat them because I'm not fucking retarded. I shouldn't say that either. Anyway.
Wait,
I need you to try this out. You take one red sock and one white shirt, put it into the wash, and see what happens with the Shout Pod. That way, you're not losing too much clothes if it does bleed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so I need you to do this for me, Calvin. I need you to say insubordinate and churlish. Just.
No, I'm not Keegan Peele or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm not that guy. I might look like him, but I'm not that guy.
Oh, that is brilliant.
But okay, wait a minute. I did have that question, but like I said, John Rocha stole my question. I wanted to say
steal your question.
You did steal my question.
Bro, how did you think I wasn't going to bring Kate on and ask her at least that basic question before we started?
Well, I mean, that's true. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But at the same time,
yeah.
Okay. So I do have a legit question. I mean, really want that was a legit question because I was hoping she'd have to answer for me for that.
Right,
She's mom.
I don't.
But I'm trying to make it to where there's not an echo here. But anyway,
don't worry.
because I don't want Kate to hear herself.
I know who wants to hear me.
I like to hear you. Anyway, you know, maybe forget my question.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Are you
It's
sure
the
that's
Pundit and Charlish?
That is tobacco. Yeah, I swear to God. Wait a minute, y'all distracted me right now. Okay. Well, let me. This wasn't the question I was going to ask. Well, okay, let me say this. Let me ask you this.
All right.
As well, like he asked you, which I was going to ask you. You got drawn into the Schmoedown and everything like that. You haven't been really in that world until what, the past year, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So, what makes you think that you can wrangle in your den as a manager? What makes you think you're capable of doing something?
Aggressive
like
question,
that?
Calvin.
That's a
When
great.
there's other people, that's right, Roca. When there's other people who have done it way before you have.
Yes.
In singles, not even in a faction, in singles, they've done it. What makes you think you can do?
Wow.
I don't know that I do think I can do it.
I know you don't.
No, I think this is what I think. I think I drafted well. As what I think. I think that I drafted very well, and I think that was a lot of luck. Those people happen to be, but I do feel like I feel very confident in my team just based on the people that they are. I feel confident in Saul. I feel confident in Sean. I feel confident in everybody. I think where we see that I have stepped in, like with the Tom and Paul match, I do have missteps. So it's. The best manager I can be is just the person that holds the mental load and not the person that makes decisions during matches until I do have a little more seasoning. If I could say it that way, because I think I still feel very bad about the Tom and Paul match. I think they were sort of
what's to feel bad about? Why you feel bad about that?
Because I think if I had done my work, I would have known that they were reviewers, that Whitney and Alonzo were reviewers, and I wouldn't have allowed us to pick that for the wheel choice. It's the Festival Darlings gaffe that everybody always brings up.
That's the whole thing, is like you learn as you go along. It's all trial and error, and it's all stumbling and whatever, that's kind of the game, and you're still going to be learning a year from now. That's for damn sure. Yeah.
And I will say that I think probably I can hype up my players. I can be a good advocate for them during matches. And I think that that's the sort of thing I have. I also care about these players.
Yeah.
I care about them as people. But I think probably the best manager I can be is the one that gets out of their way.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just wondering what made you throw your hat in the ring.
I did,
so to speak.
That's the funny part, Calvin.
She did. Christian talked her into it.
I didn't throw my
and before Roca throws me off here, I want to do what y'all do. I want to make a promotion for my people right here, Sleepy Owl Beer.
Okay,
it's a brewery here in Tennessee. It's Sleepy Owl.
Sleepy Owl,
and they got a brewery down here in East Tennessee. And wait a minute, new promo.
Jesus Christ, Calvin, come on,
that's good shit. That shit gets you drunk. Anyway, but that's Sleepy Owl beer. That's good beer.
I put that down. I got Firehouse Subs and Sleepy Owl. And
that's another thing. We got a Firehouse down here in Johnson City. We got a Firehouse. If you want to get one of them subs, we got a Firehouse down here in Johnson City. Still open, every damn thing.
Yeah, I had it first in Tallahassee, and then when North Hollywood opened up, my bowels exploded in joy. So absolutely, man.
It is good. It is good. I'll give you that.
You pay for it, but it's good. Thank you, Calvin. You're the best, brother.
All right, man. I'll see you later, guys.
Calvin, when you get your own show, will you have me on, please?
If I ever do get my own show, it'd be with that man right there. It'd be with John Rocha. We can bounce forth back. I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Roca, because you got that chick on Outlaws in the Morning. I like her though. She's cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's great. I'm loving it, but I'm jealous. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. If I get my own show, it's gonna be with Outlaw over here. We're gonna do our own thing.
Respect, Calvin.
Hell, me. Well, I don't know about you, me and Kate. I don't know if we got the right chemistry. But anyway,
I have a feeling we do.
I think we do. I think we just discovered it. You throw in Alan Smithy occasionally. I think we're good to go. Real quick, Calvin, let that brewers know if they want to send me some stouts. I will absolutely promote them on the Outlaw Nation
Show. Of course, you would want some free shit, Roca.
Oh God, Calvin.
Anyway, I'll let them know. But these are my boys down here. Sleepy Owl Brewery.
Patrons know that I will absolutely help them. So, all right.
Sleepy Owl Brewery, Tennessee, East Tennessee.
Oh, he's saying
Johnson City, Tennessee.
He says Sleepy Owl, OWL.
Yeah.
Okay, I did
Sleepy
not.
Owl. You can't really see it.
Mhm.
Well, you might be able to see it, but you can't really see.
I
you
thought
can
you
see
were
the
talking.
logo, but there's an owl in there too.
All right.
I thought we were talking about a guy named Al.
No, Sleepy Owl.
Owl. OWL.
I'm with you now. I'm with you.
All right, Calvin. Thank you very much.
And
you're the best, brother.
Oh,
all right, I'll see.
Oh, wait. Is Calvin real?
Calvin is real, and Calvin he's been on with us. You've probably have answered a question from Calvin on Collider Live. He has called into Collider Live many times, and when he came on and wanted to be a patron of the Outlaw Nation, and then also jumping in and being on here live, he's been great. He's just hilarious.
No, he's deeply funny. I love him so much. It's like, I just need to know, is this real, Kate?
Well, shout out to Danielle Romanucci. She came in here. She's like, I'm bored. Is this fun, what you guys are doing? And then she said, my mom doesn't even know I'm doing this. LOL. And she is still awake. So Danielle, thanks for joining us live. Appreciate you jumping into the chat and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Kate, we got two more people before we run. If you're okay to. Okay. Cool.
No, we're good. We're good.
Let's do it. J-Dog. J-Dog, what's up, brother?
So Roca, with Twitch, right? Your video gaming kind of thing. How about Mike Tyson's Punch Out? I know that's old school.
That could be fun. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tyson is my white whale. I can't beat him. In fact, I'm going to retire from gaming. I don't really play video games often. What I'm going to do at some point, before I leave for Ohio in to 2021, so I want to go to my brother's house, do a live stream of me playing taking on Mike Tyson. I want to do it for charity too, by the way.
Yeah.
So do a thing for charity, do a live stream of me finally beating Mike Tyson, the man who has haunted my video game playing since I was a little boy in Concord, New Hampshire in the late 1980s. My dad could beat him, God rest his soul. My friends could beat him, but I couldn't. I still can't.
My husband so we have the Nintendo Switch family plan for a year. So my husband has gone back to play all of he and his buddy will just play all these old games. But for a while, all he was playing was Punch Out because he was never able to beat the guy in the turban. Is there a guy in a turban?
Yeah, Great Tiger.
Yeah. He finally got him. I don't remember if he beat Mike Tyson though, but yeah,
he's not easy. You get down, you get knocked out like twice. You can't get back up. I'm like, come on, man. It's like the real Mike Tyson, except he knocks you out once. You ain't getting back up.
Growing up, I had two friends who played the game, and one could get them all the way to Tyson, and the other one could beat Tyson. He was essentially like a closer that you bring in baseball to finish out the inning. So they would play all day at the arcade. That's how fucking old I am. They would play the arcade and get to the Tyson, and that guy would slide in as soon as they got to Tyson, and he would win it. And every time they had people show up and watch this happen as an all-day event. Every couple of months they'd show up and do it. It was the best. It was the best.
See, they should have made that as a movie instead of the Fred Savage movie of the Wizard pimping out Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh yeah, fair, absolutely fair.
So, Kate, I wanted to ask you, with all this downtime, are there any impressions that you're kind of honing in? Watch movies and HBO Max and all these things. Is there somebody that you're just kind of getting ready for a comedy show, or do you not want to reveal that?
No, it's not even that I wouldn't reveal it. It's funny. I did not realize I was somebody who could do impressions, but then the company I worked at for 7.5 years, the production company that ended up putting me in all those movies. That's how I got all those movies, by the way. I mean, I had to audition, but they were incredibly generous with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I left, I did a roast where I did an impression of everybody in the office. And that is So I don't think I'm good at impressions, but I think if you give me 7.5 years, I can nail anybody. So I really need to, I got to tell you, Holly Hunter, because I forgot she was in Succession. I was just doing her in general. Like, I feel like when Succession comes back, I'll be able to nail that a bit. I think I'll probably be able to do some Siobhan from Succession. But I also have to say, like, I do like Housewives. Like the Real Housewives of Atlanta are my favorite, but I don't think anybody wants to see me do those.
My friend Amy built a whole career out of doing imitation of the Housewives. She started doing them as a fun thing on social media. Cohen saw her, brought her in.
Oh my God.
Had her hosting the podcast, then occasionally be the bartender at the whatever. And now she's got a show on, I think, Sirius XM about the Housewives, and you can follow her on Twitter and on social media. She does it. It's incredible what she does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Hold on, I gotta find it. What were you gonna say, Jay? You got another question?
Yeah, it was just the timing of Cosby and everything like that. Because I can do Cosby, Woody Allen, and Bill Clinton, and all the problems that they've had. I don't do you. Only the best. I don't do them. I don't do them anymore, but I'm weird because I still do Dick Nixon, and he's a crook or was a crook. But he's fair game apparently because he's not with us anymore. But I stopped doing Clinton after a while because it creeped some people out because it was that good, I guess. Cosby, I stopped doing Cosby after what had transpired, and then when more stuff came out about Woody Allen, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do these as my routine anymore. Jerry Seinfeld, sure. With Dick Nixon, sure.
Right.
I gotta tell you, I feel like you could make money off of predicting who the next pedophile is gonna be.
The Me Too, who's gonna get Me Too next?
I feel like who's gonna be just based on like who you can do a good impression of, and then that way it's almost like the Back to the Future where he gets the stats book.
The almanac.
The almanac, exactly. You are basically like a living almanac for who's gonna fall out of society's good graces. It's a real skill.
If I do people that have previously passed, it's a little different. I get a mulligan, if you will.
Right.
Nice. Current people, I gotta be careful, but you're turning into the next Melissa Villasenor, Kate. I mean that.
That's nice. I love her.
She's great.
She's unbelievable. And I also love something I love about her is that she does like an impression of Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Yes.
That like you would think that she shouldn't be able to do, like you would think like, oh, it's not gonna. She does the most genius impression of him, and it's like, oh yeah, you could do different genders and pull it off. Like
she does Owen Wilson. She is. If you've seen her do Owen Wilson, oh my God, unbelievable.
Also, shit.
That is such a compliment. Thank you,
John Mulaney. Her John Mulaney is off the charts.
Yep.
I couldn't believe what she was doing. She's a great follow on social media because she does like impressions for minutes or 2 minutes on Instagram, and then she'll do these live videos and she'll like do some of her impressions, and she can sing like a motherfucker, and she seems like a really fun, chill person. And they even had her on that series that was on HBO with what's his face. Was it Cracking Up or whatever it was called? The one on HBO where the guy was a stand-up comic and his life was like falling apart and he's putting it back together. She came on for a couple episodes, and one of the girls got jealous of her and was making fun of Melissa for her voice and for her behavior. And she's like, nobody buys this thing you're doing. It's so ridiculous. And I was so surprised that they let someone go there with her. And Melissa responded in such a graceful way in the show that you're just like, she's actually really a sweet person, and she gets why people would make fun of her because she's a comic, but she knows
her voice, but her real voice is like this. I mean, she really does. She really, like maybe she's the one that but her laugh is like, I remember watching her on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah,
and her laugh is so. Like the fact that if you don't know to love her, it would be a lot because it's a real laugh. It's just truly, if you watch it like that, is but it's her real. I mean, and I'm telling you, I love her.
Yeah. She just started her own. She added more to her channel on YouTube. She just started her own like 25-minute podcast where she's just talking about life. She does a couple impressions here and there, and also Roca. You know, Rusev. He just started his own kind of video game channel on YouTube as well.
There you go. He was playing FIFA soccer, and he was doing like commentary on it. He was doing it in like Bulgarian, and he did it for like a whole hour. It was fantastic. So all right, I'll do it. Yep. Done. I'll do it. Thank you, Jay. You talked me into it. Good to see you, man.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Yep.
He's the best. New England boy there.
The best.
We got two more. Sorry, Kate. Can we jump into them?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, and Bagel Boy. I don't know what this means. I don't think I've ever seen one of these podcasts without at least one Back to the Future reference. Have they seen any other movies? Bagel Boy. Well, first of all, it's not a fucking podcast. Let's start there. And second of all, get a life. All right, Alex O'Neill. What's going on, Alex?
What are you not me?
Hey guys.
Hi, Alex. You're the one that remembered. It told me it was Reducto.
I am indeed. And also, I wanted to say shout out to you. And I shared the birthday of March 3rd. So I think I sent a Streamlabs into SEN back on March 3rd to wish you guys a happy birthday.
Yes,
so I thought I should jump in and bring that up. I guess my question was, because it hasn't really been touched on, and I know you're a big basketball fan, what your thoughts on The Last Dance were.
Yeah. That was one of my questions, but so many people have been chiming in, so I love that you asked this. Thank you, Alex. Kate.
You guys, I haven't seen it yet.
Ah!
I haven't seen it yet.
Is there a reason?
I didn't know how to see it. I don't have cable. I don't have ESPN. And then everybody told me that it's eventually going to be on Netflix. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
We got it down here on Netflix, yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, so is it on Netflix now? Do we know?
In Australia it is, yeah. I don't know about the States.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right, maybe I should share it, give you my ESPN Plus account, and then you can watch it on ESPN Plus.
Okay, well, the other thing is if it's on Netflix, I'll just watch it on Netflix. But I can't tell you the fact that everybody was so jazzed about Michael Jordan and those crucial years of the Bulls.
Yeah.
Nothing made me happier, and I was so devastated that I couldn't be following along with that.
Yeah, I mean,
it was really great. I didn't know a whole lot about that era going into it. So it was great to learn a lot about it.
Alex, can you explain to Bagel Boy why this isn't a podcast? Can you explain what separates a podcast from a show like this?
Well, actually, I run my own podcast, and it's an audio-only experience. So giving us this visual experience elevates it beyond that.
There you go. Yeah. Even in another language, and Australian is another language. That makes sense to me. Thank you so much, Bagel Boy. I appreciate it, Alex.
Bagel Boy, I think I was the one that made the Back to the Future reference, and that is one of the only movies I've ever seen. So fair point. Fair point.
Any other questions, Alex? You good?
No, I just wanted to say thanks so much, Kate, for everything you bring to SEN and before that to Collider Live. You've been a great addition to the show, and
thank you so much.
You always make it such a joy to watch.
Oh, thank you so much. How are things in Australia right now?
Oh, yeah. How are things there?
They're not too bad. They're getting back to normal in the next few weeks. I'm still working at home, which is what allows me to join the show. I'm actually in the middle of my workday, which is great. But
just kidding, Alex's boss.
We'll be back to normal in the next few weeks, which it will be interesting to see what happens, whether there's any sort of relapse. But we've certainly been pretty lucky compared to you guys up there. So hopefully you all stay safe.
Thank you.
Well, you guys also maybe just did things better, quicker.
Yeah. You don't have idiots.
I mean, being an island, I think probably helps as well.
Yeah. I listen. I was one of those idiots at the beginning too. I feel like the information rollout on this has like gone in stages, and I just was very confused at the beginning. I was like, well, if you're old, don't leave. You know what I mean? I just didn't understand. So I was I'm totally owning up to the fact that I misspoke about this at the very beginning and didn't understand it. And
well, you weren't the only one. A lot of people were like, kind of like, I don't know. And then when people started dropping, people were like, oh,
I knew was that people were hoarding toilet paper. I'm like, well, whatever those people are doing, that can't be real.
Yeah, there was many a Tuesday morning that I was standing in line just in case to get some toilet paper at the Target. And the thing was crazy. Alex, if you can dip out if you want to dip out, but the thing that's been crazy is we had to figure out which of the stores worked for us. So it was trial and error. So we found the right Trader Joe's, we found the right Target, found the right Costco where you could go at certain times and you had access to everything that you needed to get because you timed it correctly. So I figured that out because I was going out every day for an hour. Just every day I would go out to try to see what stores were doing what. Smart and Final was a wash all around. But like these other stores, I went to 4 different Targets before I realized which is the one that like you can get in quicker. It's kind of hidden away. Not a lot of people know it. It's perfect. Found the Trader Joe's in West Hollywood, ironically, was the one that really did a great job of having their shelves almost completely stocked all the time. And we would stand in line. It would take about 15 minutes to get in the store. And once you got in the store, it was like no pandemic was happening at all, and only like 7 people were in there. It was incredible.
The one on Sunset?
No, the one on Santa Monica Boulevard by
Santa Monica. That's what I mean. Sorry, Santa Monica. Yes.
Yeah, that one right there. It was incredible.
Even normal, Alex, this isn't interesting to you, but I used to go to that one. We would have to I would have to drive into that back parking lot that's like the shape of a U.
Yeah.
Like have to valet your car with the dude at a Trader Joe's. Boy.
Well, because Kate, I was like you. I was like you at the start. I really sort of underestimated the impact it was going to have, and my wife was one who went out and sort of started to gradually hoard more and more baked beans or jars of whatever. And I sort of rolled my eyes at her at the time, but I think for a little while there, we were quite lucky. We had some supplies to fall back on.
Yeah. I definitely. It's one of those things too where I kind of have PTSD. We all do, right? Everybody's got PTSD from it. I'm not trying to use that casually. I just mean that like I think the way we purchase things from here on out is forever going to be changed. Like I think I go to the store and like I know that we still have chicken in the freezer, but I also have heard there's maybe going to be a meat shortage, so I'll buy an extra chicken. Like, and it's like I'm not hoarding. I'm not taking 7 chickens. I'm not taking the last chicken.
Right.
But it is like it's like I'm still panic buying, I guess. There's still like that part of me that's like,
okay.
Well, I'm not panic buying, but like just like, oh, they've got Ritz this time. They didn't have Ritz crackers last time. I better buy 2 Ritz. You know what I mean? It's like it's probably all gonna be normal again, you know.
It's true. Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. It's always good to see you.
Thank you so much. Reducto!
Enjoy the game.
Thank you so much. You guys too.
Oh, he's the best.
Drink recipe. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have the greatest people.
I know. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. Couple super chats.
Can we get Calvin back on?
Yeah, Calvin is hanging out down there. I don't know.
Calvin, you still there?
He is. Someone said, ZCM Alex from Zombie Custom Maps. He goes, did Dagnino give Calvin this laundry detergent and then lie to him like he did with the Yeezys to RV3, which is brilliant. Some podcast that I've never heard of, they donated a couple bucks and they said Kate calls herself a Jordan fan. Shake my head. #magic. All right. That's Shug with his bullshit.
I know. I've been on that podcast.
Have you really? Oh, They haven't asked me. I wonder why. Maybe because I
was gonna say they probably don't know that. They probably don't think they can get you.
Yeah, probably no. They probably couldn't.
You're a big deal, buddy.
That's right. That's goddamn right. Wiley, what do you got, Wiley? What's your question for Kate?
Go ahead if you need to go. It's fine.
Ask you. No. You be quiet. I tell her what. You shut up. You ask her.
Oh, Wiley.
Okay. So I have an interesting question that was brought up in a family dinner.
Yes.
So,
all right.
No, it's not like that. So we were talking. Mom told me the story of saying that, like, when she was little, she always imagined who she would like to see her father as mom. So I started thinking around, like, who would I want to see my dad? Like, what famous person I would like to see as my dad? And I picked Paul Newman because the guy's freaking great.
Yes.
So I wanted to toss the question to you guys. You can either pick your mom or dad. Like, who would you like to see as a famous person as your dad? And actually, one more thing. My mom picked Jack Nicholson, which was the weirdest thing for a dad. But anyways, so it's interesting. So I wanted to know your guys' picks.
I would definitely pick Woody Allen as my dad. Nope. I went right for it, guys. Sorry. That Bagel Boy's gonna be like, come on. Do these people ever not mention Woody Allen? Okay. Gosh, that's a great question. You have a fun family.
Yeah.
By the way.
I'm so addicted to movies, and that's pretty much all my brain Capacitors, so anything like that goes beyond that is interesting to me. So I was like, if it randomly came up, I don't even know how it did, but just random things come up.
Probably because you were talking about Color of Money.
Exactly, the greatest movie of all time, Werewolves in London.
There we go.
It's the way that you used it. The pull cue, the balabushka. Okay, Tom Cruise at his best with his hair is perfect. Roca, don't get me started.
His hair is terrible in that movie, and I should know my hair is better than his.
Okay.
I would say Jimmy Stewart would be a great dad.
Oh, Jimmy Stewart would be a great dad.
But if I wanted a dad that would get me to the mountaintop with tough love, Burt Lancaster, I think, would be an incredible dad. I have a feeling.
Ooh.
What about you, Kate? Tom Hanks?
Somebody just said in the chat, I'm like, yeah, now I can't stop thinking about it. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is great. I mean, Tom Hanks would be great. But I also have to say, you know who else I would love would be oh, yes. Wait, what?
No, it's not. Ben's just
is
being
Billy? No.
Billy is not his
okay.
dad.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
You lead with that.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. I actually feel like Jamie Foxx would be such a fun dad.
Interesting.
And no matter what you want to do, he's got if you want to be a recording artist, he's got an in. He's got albums. He knows T-Pain. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a comedian, he's done it all. He's like a real threat. So I say Jamie Foxx.
He has a daughter too. I see it all over Instagram too. He's like super supportive of his daughter too. So definitely can see that one.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Wiley.
We have to pick moms.
Oh yeah, moms. What about moms?
I mean, I would pick Carol Burnett.
That's a great choice.
There's do they have to be alive? No.
I picked Paul Newman, for God's sakes. The guy's been dead for years.
Yeah, what am I saying? That's true. That's true. I would pick either Carol Burnett or Lucille Ball.
Oh, nice choices. Yeah, but could you handle it? Because they're the funniest one in the room every time, and not you.
I'll just take notes. I'm in a room with Brett Sheridan all the time. I'm very often not the funniest person in the room.
You're good. You handle yourself quite well against me. I would probably say Katharine Hepburn would be a great mom, I would think.
Oh, well.
All right, thanks, Wiley. Good seeing you, man.
Thanks, Wiley.
I'll bring Wiley back on at the end of the show. Oh, someone said Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter would be a good mom.
Oh, yeah.
How would Holly Hunter do the shout challenge? I don't know. Holly Hunter would do that.
Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter was she's a great mom in The Incredibles. Dash. It's not that you're not super. It's just that we can't let everybody know that you're super.
You know, I had the biggest crush on her growing up in the 80s, like Holly Hunter.
Really deeply understand that.
Well, I mean,
amazing.
We had a copy of Broadcast News on VHS, and I wore the fuck out of that VHS because I love that movie so much. And that's where my crush. And then I saw like Miss Firecracker, and then a couple of things, and I became just. And then the piano. The piano was. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I just was like, this is incredible.
That music. My dad had the soundtrack to that, like on cassette. We would listen to the piano music. That was a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Did you you said you wore out the VHS for Broadcast News? What were the trailers before it? Do you remember? What did they advertise before? We were talking about this the other day.
Tourist. Rocky 3. And then I can't remember.
That's amazing. You remember that.
It might have been Tango and Cash. It might have been Tango and Cash was the other trailer, but I'm not.
I completely forgot about trailers on VHS as we started talking about this the other day. Forget who was talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Secret of the Ooze DVD.
Yeah, right.
And they remembered everything that came before that.
Yeah.
But then we started talking about coming soon to Disney Home Video. Like, all right. Yes. Right. Buena Vista Media.
We got a couple more Streamlabs, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Kate, I'm sorry to keep you so long. I appreciate you taking the time.
I'm having so much fun with you. Please.
Thank you. PC said, Kate, what are your top 3 must-do things in Chicago? What are the top 3 must-do things in Chicago for you?
That is a great question. I'm going to give some touristy answers. First of all, I'm a White Sox fan. Don't anybody ever forget that, but everybody should go to Wrigley Field. There's no question. You should go to Wrigley Field. Yeah. Right. It's just it's a historic place, and the energy in that stadium is great. If you can get over the fact that Yeah. I would go to see a show at Second City. And I know I'm saying that with a little bit of bias. I was never in shows there. I just did the conservatory there. So it's not like plugging something I once did. I didn't do it. Because I feel like it's just that is the history there. When you walk in and you see who's on the wall there, it's incredible. And I would also say to take an architecture cruise. Again, very touristy answers, but Chicago, there's the Chicago River. I don't think people sometimes know. I mean, people know like, oh, the river, it gets dyed green on St. Patrick's Day, but there's like a river that runs through the city. And then there's this locks system that gets you out onto Lake Michigan. And people, when they picture a lake, they sort of think like, oh, you can see to the other side. But all of like the Dickie's East Coast family that came out for the wedding were like, this isn't a lake, this is an ocean, because you cannot see. I mean, it's massive.
Wow. And
it's just amazing. It's the architecture tour takes you through and tells you about all the architecture that you're passing on the river, and then you go out onto the lake. You go through the locks system where they like lower it and then or raise you up. It's amazing. So I would recommend those things.
Okay. All right. There you go. Kristen Smith. Hey, Kristen, good to see you in the chat. She's throwing in a bunch of them. She's from Chicago. She says the aquarium, also the zoo. You can take a Segway tour of the city. Oh, I hate those. I mean, when I see people on Segways touring LA, I just want to pull a shotgun, a fictional shotgun out of my back seat and just shoot them off their Segway. She said going to the Navy Pier is a must as well.
Great. Yeah.
I went to the Navy Pier when we were in Chicago for Celebration last year. I thought that I had a really good time down there. All right. Sochar1999 says, Kate, you are a diamond. One of my faves is Ferris Bueller and the whole John Hughes universe. As a proud Chicago girl, what films encapsulate the Windy City best for you? I've always wanted to visit, only managed to get to Florida and DC so far. So what Chicago films are the best examples of Chicago?
Listen, Ferris Bueller definitely nails it. I grew up in the suburbs. So for me I lived in Chicago as out of college, but I really am a Chicago poser. So a movie like Home Alone or the John Hughes movies, I didn't grow up in those and like the north suburbs, which are really nice. I grew up in the western suburbs, which are fine. Suburb is a suburb, right? But I nannied for 3 years of college. I went to Northwestern in Evanston, and I nannied for 3 years up on the North Shore there. And seeing it watching Home Alone reminds me so much of like, because it filmed in that exact neighborhood. And I remember driving by the Home Alone house, like when I was nannying with the kids in the car with me. So that I just love that. I'm trying to think like Ferris Bueller really, I feel like nails it. But
is it Uncle Buck in Chicago? Is Uncle Buck?
Uncle Buck it's the same. John Hughes did everything out in like Winnetka, Highland Park. Highland Park is where Michael Jordan lives. He did it all in those northern suburbs,
which we don't talk about anymore.
With Juanita. I know, don't talk about Juanita.
Can't bring up Juanita.
Don't bring up Juanita. Where is Juanita Jordan?
Her daughter said Juanita didn't want to be part of the documentary because Juanita lived it and she didn't need to relive it. And
that's right. Was the daughter, because I can tell you all of Michael Jordan's kids' names without even knowing, without even having seen the documentary, because that's the kind of fan I'm in. Jasmine Jordan, Marcus Jordan, Jeffrey Jordan.
All all three of them attractive kids.
Gorgeous.
It's incredible. Like they come on the dock in the last episode and you're like, holy shit, these kids are gorgeous.
Jasmine Jordan was in a play at a theater that I worked at, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Michael Jordan. He was in, and when I say that I lost my composure, I didn't see, because I was directing a play at the same theater. It was called Apple Tree Theater. It was in Highland Park, and she was in like the kids show there, and I came because I was directing it, or I was in a different show, whatever it was. And I remember seeing him in the audience. He was sitting in the seats, but he's so tall. And he's not like tall, like compared to like Shaq, but he's tall compared to normal people.
Yeah, of course.
His knees in the seats were like, I didn't watch the play at all. I just stared at him. I mean, I'm telling you, I lost my brain. And then when he got up, he did, oh my God, I love him so much. When he got up, he did like, I don't think I'm allowed to say this, but it's what I call like the black man hobble.
Okay.
Oh, it's so sexy. He did this thing where he like,
This is great.
He like got up and then like hop walked. I was like, I love him. 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 I remember like
Calvin laughing. You got Calvin laughing at that one. I love it.
you know, I probably should, but it was oh so.
Look at him. He knows. He's seen the black man hobble. He knows this one.
Wait, Calvin is still here.
Yeah,
Yay!
Ryan C. I'm back now, y'all. Calvin had me dying of laughter. He threw one more in. Ryan threw one more and was very kind of him. He said, oh, yeah, here goes. Oh, yes. Advice for small town people moving to big cities. I mean, if we're going to tell them to get out of that area, we got to
stay. If you have a good support network, stay there. No,
that's true.
Cities, yeah.
It's true. If you have a good support system, stay there.
Stay where you are.
Jim Sandlin says, John and Kate, thank you for all the great shows today. I was laid off last week. Ah, shit. Sorry, man. And you guys are keeping my spirits up, pulling up my bootstraps, and getting back on the horse. Hashtag Baba Booey. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Jim, let me tell you, I was laid off in January, my man. You can find a way. You can find a way. You can figure it out. The first month kind of sucks. The first couple of weeks kind of suck. But once you get your head kind of figured out of what you want to do next, things can open up for you. So all I can tell you is I can encourage you that it sucks, but take that money, figure out what you want to do next. And there's unemployment. So hopefully you got the unemployment situation squared away, and that'll keep you afloat till you get to the next thing. But this is a good time to figure out what you actually want to do next, not what you need to do next to pay the bills. What do you want to do next? And maybe you've got a little bit saved away that'll kind of keep you afloat for a bit while you figure out what it is you want to do next. It might be a blessing in disguise. You never know. I'm not saying this was, but I'm saying I found a way to figure it out. So I'm just trying to encourage you. If I can serve as any kind of example, it sucks. But once you get past the anger and the frustration about it and the feelings of wrongness, you can move to a separate plane of thinking about it. So that's what I would say.
and it can be fun employment for a while instead of unemployment. You know, use this time to take care of yourself and do something fun.
Yeah.
Stay inside your house and not get a deadly virus. Oh
right.
boy, it's not a great time to be unemployed.
It's not. Calvin wants to ask this more question, but we should wrap up. Should we let him ask one more question or no, Kate?
Calvin's the star of the show. Let's let him ask one more question, please.
All right, Calvin, you talked me into it. Yeah, one more question.
Well, this question isn't for Kate.
That's
sorry.
fine.
That's all right.
I love you, Kate.
I love you.
But Roca, I wanted to ask you a question.
How would you pronounce owl?
See, you're gonna throw me off.
I'm sorry. You're gonna throw me off. I'm sorry.
He was smoking his
owl is owl. It's not owl. Well, you gotta think. Okay, first of all, Kate, I want you to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from the South. So when I say owl, it probably sounds like A-L, owl.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But it's actually O-W-L.
No,
Roca can tell you what I'm talking about because he's from VA. He's from Virginia. He knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I do.
What I'm talking about is owl.
Owl.
And you're like sleepy owl.
Yeah.
No. It's sleepy owl. It's like an owl anyway. God damn it.
I'm with you now. I know it's owl now.
Do you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
No, it's also like Chicago Kate would be like, ow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like just I'll tell you what it's like. Let me give you an example.
I hope he remembers the question. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I do remember the question. I'm going to get to that. I do remember what it's like. It's just like when you change your stuff up for the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The same thing.
Yeah.
I'm from the South.
Yeah.
And your accent, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know the accent that you actually use, I think it's from the Midwest.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, down south we have a different accent. You see what I'm saying? Does it make any sense to you?
It does. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Now,
oh, now you're gonna make fun of me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? You gonna make fun of me? I didn't make fun of you. I didn't sit there and say Kate Mulligan shouldn't use that accent. That's bad accent. I didn't say that. I can pull that out.
Calvin, no, I'm just saying. I'm actually trying to nail it. What I say?
It's actually pretty good.
Sleepy Hour.
Aren't you an actress?
That's what I'm saying. This is actually like a case study.
Aren't you an actress?
She was in Crank High Voltage. Yeah, she's a good actress.
Hey,
you know what? Crank High Voltage 2. I actually own that. I own that DVD.
I'm
gonna have to look for you. Where was you at in it?
I was in the scene with Ron Jeremy where they drive through a picketing porn star.
Wait a minute. Is that where they're in the Schmoedown? Was that where they in the the racing arena? And he
horse race
in the middle of the racing arena?
No, he's like trying to get through the city. I don't know. I actually never saw
I mean, there's so many parts in that movie.
But I'm a picketing porn star wearing like a halter top, like a midriff halter top. And I'm
wow. I will definitely check this out.
Yeah, I'm chanting.
I'll definitely check that out.
Easy, Calvin.
Yeah, I will slow mo through all that.
Easy, Calvin.
I'll find out where you're at. I'll find out where you're at.
What's your question, Calvin?
Now I done forgot my question because she done sidetracked me on this shit.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But no. This is not my question. I had a legit question until she started doing this.
By the way,
shit.
that's the name of your fucking podcast. This is not my question.
That's not my question.
Podcast.
I don't need a podcast. I mean, I could try it if I wanted to, but I don't need a podcast, Roca. You know what I mean? I'm my own person. I hate to sound like Danito, and I don't want to do that because I know it's your boy. But I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to sound like that guy.
I just want to say I think everybody in this chat would agree with me. You actually do need your own podcast.
Yeah.
I don't need a podcast. What the fuck would I talk about? What the fuck would I talk about?
I
don't know. You've been holding court for 30 minutes. I think you've got enough to talk about, Calvin.
Everybody, let me tell you something. Everybody on here, with no disrespect to anybody out here, everybody talks about fucking movies. I mean, what the fucking else? If I threw out, it's the only thing I know. If I threw out another podcast, only thing I'm going to talk about is movies. Who gives a fuck?
This is great.
I'll just be somebody else.
Let me address this. I want to address this because many people have reached out to me about this, and they've DM'd me on Twitter and Instagram, and they've said like, why should I start a podcast? Because like there's 5 million podcasts about movies. Yes. But there are not 5 million podcasts about movies hosted by you. That is always the fucking difference. And I don't care how polished your podcast is. I don't care if you sound like you're coming from a tin bucket in your basement. It's you they're buying. It's you they want to listen to. So if you have enough charm and interesting perception or perspective on things, people will listen to you and people will find you and gravitate to you. People can be more discerning than you think. So that's what I would say to you and to everybody else. It does not matter that there's 5 million other people doing the same thing. You doing it has never been done. And that could be the difference.
By the way, Ben Wellington says the Outlaw Nation.
Outlaw Nation. No. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Kate, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I don't know if anybody else is fucking listening. I don't give a fucking.
They are. We got over 160 people watching right now.
Okay. Or really? I don't know because I'm looking through the StreamYard. Anyway, this is what I'm trying to tell you. And everybody else who wants to listen. This is what I'm trying to tell you about this fucking man right here, Roca. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm behind the Outlaw Nation. This is why I've been behind Roca ever since day one. Every day one since Schmoedown. Because this motherfucker knows what he's talking about. And that's what I'm saying. I get it. I understand it. And I understand exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I could do what you're saying if I had to drive. Right. But in your streams and stuff like that, you talk about shit like that. Yeah. And I respect that. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's why I'm part of the Outlaw Nation.
Thank you, bro.
Horseman. That's what I'm talking about. It's because he talks about that shit.
Not everything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I mean to piggyback off of what you're saying, Calvin, nobody has drive like this man.
You damn right. This motherfucker's got like 40. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. We're talking with each other.
No, I'm just saying this motherfucker's got so many fucking. He's always doing shit. He's always doing shit. Got the baddest chick in the world. This motherfucker's great.
I know.
He's got the Lady Outlaw. Yeah. He's doing everything he can.
I know.
And I respect that. And I always have. And I've been behind this man since, I don't know, when was it when you came into Schmoedown? Like when it was on Schmo's No? What was it, like 2013? Something like that?
Yeah, 2014, something like that. And then Schmoedown.
Yeah. I'm talking about Schmo's No, sitting on the couch, everything. You know what I'm talking about? I remember those days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's been in it for a long time.
Let's get it going.
Y'all don't even know. All these motherfuckers coming out here saying bullshit, talking out sideways out the fucking mouth of shit about John Rocha. Y'all don't even know who John Rocha is. He made this league, and I watched it happen. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't want to get you demonetized, John. So I'm just going to play like the very first part of this. But John Rocha, this is the song he should actually be coming out to.
Who? John Rocha?
Yeah. You ready?
He's got to be. What the fuck is this?
Every day I'm hustling.
Yeah.
That's true. Every day I'm hustling. That's exactly right, Kate Mulligan. Because every day this man's hustling.
Yeah.
Every day when everybody's sleeping, he's awake doing shit. And I'm not kissing his fucking ass, so everybody's going to try to say that shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Come at me. I don't give a shit. At me, bro. I don't give a fuck.
People are supporting you, man. Don't get antagonistic. People are supporting what you're saying. It's a positive thing, dude.
Well, I'm just saying. I've been behind you since day one, Outlaw. I've been behind you since day one.
Thank you, Cal.
When you came out there with that cowboy hat on and all that shit on, I've been after you since I've been after you. That sounds a little fucked up. but I've supported you since day one.
I've been after you and right behind you since day one.
I've been right behind that ass. Anyway, but yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right. I respect.
And Kate, and I want to see you do. I want to see you do with a lot of people, a lot of these newcomers and stuff like that. And I understand why you get mad, Roca. I know, I understand. Like you was talking about on backstage when they was talking about, it's the Finstock stage on backstage. Oh, yeah. I understand that. They picked you to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah.
You know, Christian picked you two because he thought you'd be the best to do it. And everybody's like, it's this Finstock exchange on here, up in here. You know, no, it's not. It just dictates what people want, what the guests are on, happen to be on that day. You don't pick the guests that are on that day. And if it happens to be part of the faction, it happens to be part of the faction.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't.
Oh no, I agree with that.
Thank you so much, Cal.
But what I'm saying is I see my opinion doesn't really even matter. But I think that Kate,
it does matter.
I think the Kate with the den. I mean, I doubted it there for a long time. I remember a long time ago when the draft happened. I was like, the den. Who cares? Because you know what I mean. Because I'm #rockstars. I'm sorry.
I understand. Listen.
Either one of y'all's feelings. Oh. But I was like, but what I'm saying is when I seen as time progressed, because what was that, January?
Yeah.
As time progressed, I was like, okay, I get it. I see it now. I see where she's going. I see what she's doing. I don't give a fuck about the accent or whatever, what you're doing, whatever. I get it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Is that I didn't know who the fuck you was until no disrespect to you, but I didn't know who you was until Collider Live, and then subsequently SEN Live, and then I found out that you and Kristen, I found out the history and everything like that.
Yeah,
I was like,
cool. That sounds like. Okay, to be clear, there's no history to find out about with Christian and I.
Well, no. Well, yeah, it does sound weird. I didn't mean to make it.
I know.
But you know what I mean. I didn't know anything about you two guys.
Yeah.
But I didn't know y'all had this history with the Comedy Store and all stuff like that, everything like that. I didn't know all that. And I didn't know y'all was together and all that stuff. And
as friends.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Kate. Here's the thing here, Kate.
Listen, by the way, this motherfucker's been talking for 20 minutes, and he's trying to tell me he can't do a podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying,
ridiculous.
Here's the thing here, Kate, is that I've been watching Schmo's No ever since it began. I think it was two. I don't know. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here because I can't remember because it's been forever. I'm going to say 2011, 2012. I could be wrong. I think it might have been 2008. But I've watched everything. I watched Tiffany Smith. I watched everybody. I watched everybody come. I watched Roxy Stride's first appearance. I watched everybody come through. And so to me, this is just Jay. And to me, this is just another notch in somebody else that I've seen. Like I seen you on Collider Live and then SEN Live. It's just somebody new coming in that I've seen again, which I've seen time and time again before. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's just something that I've seen over and over again. Cool. So you're just somebody else coming in. And that's why I was trying to ask you about, you know, what you going to do? What you going to do? You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. Listen, it's all valid questions. Because also Christian plucked me out of obscurity and was like, here's a person. And everybody's like, well, how do we feel about her? And I think people are either warming up to me or not. And like,
I think they are.
It's not.
I think it's warmed up to you by now 1,000%. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, maybe not the character, or maybe not my participation in the Schmoedown.
I don't think they have it with your character. I don't think they have with your character.
See,
I don't think they have.
Let me know.
I think people like you more so you being you than they do with the character.
I'm gonna put this Schmoedown Facebook.
You can't really do anything about that because it's Schmoedown. You know what I mean? You got to have a character, and if they don't like the character that you pick, or what Christian tells you to do, or whatever the fuck, I don't know because I'm not even involved in it. But what I'm saying is, if that's what his direction he wants you to go with it. Go with it. Fuck him.
He at the draft didn't want me to go in that direction. So
I don't give a shit. Fuck that. You know what I mean? People going to hate on you. People going to hate on you. This is part of it. Roca can tell you all about that. People going to hate on you no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, do what you got.
The haters drink their haterade. That's what you got to do.
I mean, I'm not worried about winning everybody over. I made a choice. I'm committing to my choice.
I love your choice.
Well, thank you. It's also
your choice too.
It was self-preservation because I got to keep myself sacred for this stuff, and I couldn't be a heel like myself.
But don't worry about it. And
Calvin just cut a better promo than Brandon Hanna even remotely cut. So shout out to Calvin.
But what you want to do,
Calvin, we got to wrap up, son. Come on now.
I know. But give me a second.
One last.
Well, y'all would have brought me back in here. I was just fucking spectating.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're supposed to ask one question, not go on for 20 minutes.
Well, what you want to do, though, is make sure you want to get behind your team. You already know this. You want to get behind your team and try to, focus on your team and make sure they try to win. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they try to win. That's all I'm going to say, Roca. I'm done.
All right, my man Calvin, thank you so much, brother.
All right, Calvin, man.
You're amazing. Insubordinate and churlish. I love him. I love Calvin.
I know, he's the best. Today he was.
Do you get to talk to him every week?
Yeah, every week he comes on, and I never know what to expect because I never know what. And he can't figure out how to turn off the echo ever. So it's part of the show. But people seem to love. This is my highest rated show every week. This is the one show that gets the most views, the most likes, the most comments, and it's a great show. And people just chime in and let their freak flags fly, and I love it. And Calvin was fantastic, and you never know what you're going to get from Calvin, and I always bring him in.
I love everybody that you brought in.
Thank you, Kate.
Also, everybody. Who was it that said, I'll be there. I'll be there.
These are the best. Someone says Ben Rayner says Calvin is getting a spinoff from the Outlaw Nation shared universe in the making.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
Ben Wellington saying Outlaw Nation. Oh my God. And poor Calvin thought I was making fun of his accent, which I was not. I was actually trying to mess up Owl.
Of course.
Sleepy Owl. I can't do the Southern accent. Oh my God.
But people from the South take shit for their accent all the time.
Oh, I love it though.
I do.
Love their accent. I love it.
One last statement. We got to let Kate go here. Soulshot99 chimed in. He said, hands down, funniest Outlaw Nation so far. I'm in bloody stitches over here. Kudos to the both of you after a long ass day. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree. My favorite was Release the Calvin Cut. That's me.
Release the Calvin Cut.
All right, I gotta let you go because I gotta go to fucking bed. I got a morning show to do.
Oh God,
Kate, you are the best. I love you.
I love you so much. It's been so fun. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being a great sport and sticking around for so long. You're amazing. I know you're a mom and you got things to take care of, so I appreciate it. Will you please tell people where they can find you and all the stuff you're doing, please?
Yes, I don't have. I'm Katest Mom Ever on Twitter and on Instagram. I haven't been doing much on either because Animal Crossing. But
and you got your show. What's the show you're doing with Brett again?
What am I saying? Duh. Yes, for those of you who are thinking about becoming $10 tier or above patrons for the SCN Live, one of the perks that you get is that Brett and I are developing a show ultimately to be on the SCN network. But we're doing a sort of development show every Friday for an hour. Called it's just called Kate and Brett Make a Show.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw the workout one. It was the best.
that one usually we're way more interactive with everybody that's on, but that one was just basically Mark Ellis making us vomit after.
Yeah, it's hard to be interactive when you can't breathe. It's really hard.
Couldn't breathe. I was like, I'm at 158 heart rate. What's safe?
This seems unsafe. Kristen Smith, yes, I have to go to bed. Don't put it in parentheses in quotation. All right, follow Kate and everything she does. She's incredible. I love her to pieces. We didn't get to like 3/4 of the shit I wanted to ask her about because of you all and your wonderful questions. So shout out to Kate for being such a great sport to answer everybody's questions and talk through everything. And I will see you soon. I imagine you've got a big match tomorrow, right? What time is it at? 3 p.m. PT? Oh, PT, right? 6 p.m. ET, is that right?
Yeah, the 3 p.m. PTSD. 3 p.m. Where Sean Sullivan versus Laura Kelly. So
John Bull. I like that. PC says we need a part 2. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a part 2. We'll get Kate back on here a little bit down the road, and we'll finish up this conversation. I'm sure
Calvin.
All right, Kate. Thanks so much. I'm gonna drop you off. Feel free to head on off to the things you got to do tonight. We'll talk soon. Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Kate Mulligan. My God, one of the best people on the planet. She is incredible for just enduring all of that. Oh, I'm a little off here. Am I? Oh, sorry, guys. I've been messing with my camera all day. I'm trying to find the right setting that'll get me where I need to go. Okay, that's the best I can do for now. I'll fix it. I'll fix it off camera. All right. Let me bring it. Wiley, what's up, man? What'd you think? Good stuff, huh?
Good episode. Very good.
Yeah.
You know, when in like everyone said, basically what this show does is it gives you stuff beyond the movies, and that's what, when we see that all day, it's good to do that. So every episode's been great, and this is just another one in that category.
Yeah, every episode is its own animal, and I love that because that's the show I want to create. Look, I want to do this full time. This is the show I want to do full time. Just this, talking about with my guests for 3 hours about whatever, and having people chime in and give me some support to stay alive and pay my bills. So I absolutely love doing the show. Thank you, Ryan. He said, great show tonight. I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know, people chime in, people call in. Some people get a little irritated by it, but for the most part, I feel like everybody enjoyed the show tonight, and the people that called in. And Kate, I mean, I had so much to ask her about through her movies and through her comedy and what her favorite bits are. How does she come up with stuff as a comedian? I wanted to ask her about, being involved in the Schmoedown. What's the best thing about it? What's the worst thing about it? What has she discovered about herself and do it? There were so many questions I had, but there were so many great questions from the fans and from the people chiming in on live with us that I couldn't get to them all. So, but yes, we'll definitely get her back at some point down the road. Bagel boy, it's not a podcast. All right, thank you though.
It's the thing is Roca, right? Like you said that you didn't get to talk to her about that Schmoedown stuff, but that's what we hear all the time. Yeah, like she goes on guest on every of these fan Schmoedown podcasts, which some people like that, but personally that's not for me, And then you also have her, like Christian, interviewing her and hearing all the stuff with their thing, but it was mainly about her and her experiences and knowing her exactly, and that's what's special about the show. And I agree with you, this is your bread and butter, but you have to build the brand so you can get those bigger guests, so therefore it grows bigger and everything, and that's what we're gonna do as a team, and this is just the beginning. we'll get there, Roca. We'll get there.
I appreciate that. Well, you know, so many great people on the team now involved with the Outlaw Nation. I can't thank them enough. You're definitely one of them here and handling the 2 hangouts that you do, plus the Outlaw Nation, which I appreciate. And for those of you, and I guess I should say, for those of you who are thinking about becoming a patron of the Outlaw Nation, these are the incredible shows we got coming up starting in the first week of June on Friday. Every Friday, there'll be one episode of one of these shows that drops every Friday. We're going to go in order. So the first week will be Criterion Corner. The next Friday, the Outpost, which is the mailbag show. The next is the OK Corral. That's the next Friday after that, which is the debate show, where I pick a topic, or me and my producers pick a topic. We pick 2 patrons, and they come in, and they don't know which side of the debate they're going to fall on. And then we give them their side of the debate before the debate starts. So they can prepare for both sides, but they're surprised right at the last minute which side they're on. And then the Outlaw rides again. It's a Schmoedown watch along. So a fan, a patron, or a guest will rewatch a match of mine with me and ask me questions throughout, essentially interviewing me about what I was thinking about as the match was going along. Plus, as I said, the two hangouts we do, and tomorrow is the next one that we do, and that one is on
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock PST on Discord. And guys, if you are part of the Patreon currently and you don't know what anything's going on, you need to get part of the Discord. Andrew Hale, who's in the chat right now, runs that and makes it all look nice and organizes everything. But there's a ton of stuff happening over there, not just these shows. If you guys want to be a part of the debate show or the mailbag, those are dedicated chats in the Discord where you guys can type in all that information so you guys can be a part of it, because that's what all Roca is trying to do, is make everyone feel welcome and a part of it. There's also the most time that people spend at the end of the month. There's this new thing that Roca and Andrew Hale came up of doing, this giveaway thing. If you guys had whoever has the highest rankings at the end of the month gets like a gift card or a Blu-ray, I think I heard. No one's doing that. No one is doing that. And I can speak that. I've been pretty much part of every Patreon. Roca really cares about this, and I know you guys don't really get to see Roca behind the scenes, but he does. So honestly, if you guys are asking anyone, or if my personal opinion, I'm not biased, I'm saying his shows and everything is the personal best bang for your buck, because you got community interaction, plus shows that you could be a part of, and plus you get to be a part of the main shows. And just everything, you guys are getting the most experience as you can. It's kind of like Disney World or Universal. Yeah, Universal's good, but you want to go to Disneyland because there's multiple parks. Think of it as that way.
That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. Well, I appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely. So much going on in my life. And I'm just trying to build this thing up from step one. And yeah, the Discord, what you said, somebody left the Discord a couple of weeks ago, and they were very kind to leave constructive criticism. And I finally listened, and we have absolutely changed around thanks to Andrew Hale doing what he did. And Andrew Hale also re-edited a lot of the patron tiers, so people know exactly what they're getting for their bucks. So, I think all around the Outlaw Nation is shaping up to be a very strong and powerful force. Come aboard, enjoy it, have some fun. One of the most unique things that you'll ever experience is the Outlaw Nation. And if you can be a patron of the Outlaw Nation to help get us to the next level, which is ultimately where I want to be able to every month rent out a studio to do these shows from, and bring in guests in studio. Once we can actually do that after the coronavirus thing settles down, that is the next step for the Outlaw Nation. So we want to get that Patreon up to about 5,000 a month, so that I can afford the rent and the cameras and all of that for a studio show. And that's the essential goal. So, we're all building towards that. So thank you all so much who've already come on here and been a part of the journey. And for those who are thinking about coming on to be part of the journey, I hope we convinced you to go and be a patron of the Outlaw Nation for sure. And there you go. And we'll sell you a fancy knife set as well. All right. Thanks so much, Kristen.
Roca, I have this idea. Well, tell me what you think about this.
All
okay.
Right.
So you have this big personality, right? What if because now I'm done with high school now, so I have more free time on my hands, right? What if I fly out there and a couple other people fly out for maybe a week, and we just go do these random in real life videos with you just having different experiences? That might be a good thing to do.
I like that idea.
Sure. More in real life Roca, because we see Roca behind the camera. Let's get Roca in real life.
Sure.
I was thinking when you guys were talking about that Britney Spears experience, film that shit and put it on Patreon. There you go. Have someone there with the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Absolutely. Those are things I want to do more and more. I want to be as available to the patrons as possible. So I appreciate that very, very much, Wiley. Absolutely. All right. That's it. We got to wrap up, man. It's almost 9 o'clock. We went way over time. I want, as John Z says, I want basketball, Roca. Yeah, eventually my LeBrons are coming next week. My friend, my girlfriend's cousin, his wife works for Nike, and they give me a discount. So I bought some LeBrons, some new LeBrons, because Matt Nose suggested that those are the shoes I need to get for the style of basketball I play. So hopefully, once we're allowed to go play basketball again, you'll be able to get videos of me playing basketball with Nost. So we'll have some fun.
Like Mike Roca.
Was it
like Mike Roca? You know,
yeah,
you get Jordan's on, you have Jordan's powers. You know, one of the greatest movies, sports movies, like Mike.
That's right, like Mike. There you go. All right, thanks to Wiley Todd. I appreciate it, brother. I'm gonna drop you out. You're great, man. Thank you so much for everything you do for the channel and for the Outlaw Nation show, man. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. And that's Wiley Todd. He's fantastic. Yeah, and like I said, we're gonna do the hangout tomorrow, 6 p.m. PT. With me and a bunch of the patrons. There were $5 and up here, $5 and up patron. You get to hang out there on the Discord. And then usually on Thursday nights, we do the 7 o'clock one, but we might have to push this one to Friday. And we do that on camera, the Blue Jeans Hangout for every patron who is $7 and up. So go and check out the Patreon, www.patreon.com/John Rocha. A lot of stuff there. And follow me at social media there, at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And tomorrow, don't forget, Mornings with the Outlaw, another brand new episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. Me and Alex Shawshak talking about all the big entertainment news happening. And much love to Alex. Alex has absolutely injected new life into the show, and our views have increased like crazy. So thank you for any of you all who watch that religiously now because of Alex coming on the show. So a lot of fun there. And I've got 2 more shows that we're working on that we're going to do. They're going to be weekly shows, just once a week, but we want to keep the entertainment going. Those will be announced a little bit later on down the road. So, all right, thanks to everybody. Love you all. Peace out. And thanks to Ben Wellington as well, is going to be helping me soon. Thanks to everyone who sent stuff in for that Outlaw Nation Schmoedown reaction show. I think Mike Shea and I are going to make the final choices here in the next day or so, and the show will debut hopefully either this week or early next week, reviewing the Star Wars match that's happening tomorrow. Don't forget about that Star Wars match, 3 p.m. on Twitch tomorrow, 3 p.m. PT, 6 p.m. ET on Twitch, the Laura Kelly versus Sean Sullivan. I guarantee you this is one you don't want to miss. All right, take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of the Outlaw Nation Show.